Transition. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sparrows, here with Roll for Chaos and all of these crazy, wonderful, beautiful, amazing people. How have you been, everybody? How have you been, everybody here at the table? The audience obviously would take 20 seconds to react. Give me a finger count. How good has your last week been between 1 and 5? There you go. All right, so we are here tonight to see the outcome of what has occurred since last time. We will go over in a recap, believe you me. But I have to say, since tensions have been high, since they might be high tonight, and who knows what might be said and what might be done, of course, that is all in character. That is all part of the game. That is not how any of these individuals at this table might possibly feel about one another. I'm going to ask you to say a nice thing about one cast member out here, and just remember that we all like each other. So we'll go around the table random, like usual, and we'll start the love. That's going to begin with Gwen. McSherry, you get to say something nice about Benjamin, because you and he are about to have a face-off, I'm sure.
I mean, this is very true, and it's also appropriate that, B starts all this, since she's going to end it later. Seriously, though, role-playing with Benjamin makes me a better player every time. Like, I learned something new about myself, I learned something new about how to role-play, and I absolutely love playing games with him.
Yes, well, I enjoy having him at the table, so please none of you just, make him leave crying tonight. I'd appreciate that, although it would be funny to see, Benjamin. Not to say that I want to see it happen, but...
I have a really, really good ugly cry. You're missing out if you tell me not to do that.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I can't promise I won't.
If you're gonna bring the horrible, ugly cry, I mean, I'm down with that, I'm down.
I've been practicing it and everything.
So we'll move right along to Jackal, Amos. Jackal, why don't you say something nice about Kai? Oh, you are muted, Jackal. You are!
It's funny that you could actually hear that.
I read your lips, I didn't. You're welcome. I'm not just gonna tell everybody what you're saying. No, I'm not. Come on now. Really? That you're gonna say that about Kai? Are you serious?
Understandable.
Needless to say, Kai's a very mellow and easygoing fellow. And they're straightforward and to the point about... that's too easy. They're very relaxed and... No, I've already said that. They're the calm in the group, and I appreciate that, especially of someone with my level of stress.
Understandable. Getting that calm out there and helping individuals be heard and seen and respected as well. That's a very good thing to have in a group.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on over to Nora. How about you say something nice about Gwen?
Gwen is fantastic and it has a very warm presence at the table and feels welcoming. And especially with B, is always ready to bring the mischief. And I appreciate that.
Ain't that the truth? Jackal, our audience is indicating that your audio volume is low, and I can't currently bring it up any. Is there any way you could enhance that a little?
My audio is always low for some weird reason. Please stand by. I'm going to attempt a manual reset.
Okay.
Okay.
We will continue on over with Kai while you're working on that. Kai, why don't you say something nice about Jackal?
So there's something nice about Jackal after all of what he said about me.
I mean, come on, be the better man.
No.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Call me an asshole if you need to. Is that any better?
Slightly.
I only just fidgeted with the gain.
Yeah, it's.
Well, Jackal is always genuine, and that's something I genuinely appreciate, because every time I hear something from Jackal, it's the truth, and I know that whenever he's playing this game or playing anything or just hanging out, it's genuine. This is Jackal.
I get that. It's rare sometimes to find individuals who are just themselves, and we love them for that. So Jackal, Heartman. Moving right along to Benjamin, why don't you say something, since everybody else here is already gone, about yourself? You did it
What
to
can you
me. It's your
say-
turn.
What can you say about TT Benjamin that hasn't already been said about the Zodiac Killer? What makes a man like TT Benjamin? What builds him? What are the blocks and stuff? Is it the screaming panic from place to place and the quick assessment of every individual situation? Is it the hours and hours of practicing stupid voices on his long commute because he made a poor career decision and now has a 2.5-hour daily commute? No, I think it's the meat. I think it's the meat in the machine and the machine in the meat. You'll notice, I think, TT Benjamin's finest quality, the ability to not compliment himself while still sounding like he's complimenting himself. Seeing.
You, good sir, are the best machine covered in meat I know. But you didn't give any love to the ghost that also inhabits the meat in the machine, so, points off for that.
Ah, heck. Well, I can take the lumps, that's for sure. That's me all over. I love the pain.
All right, Jackal, do we have your audio test here for the next one?
Check.
Oh, that's so much better.
Check.
Yep.
I know I've been coming in really quiet on the recaps.
You are doing great. The recap's not so big a deal because I can actually adjust the audio separately during live stream. That's a little different, but this is perfect, so thank you. All right, everybody. On the last episode of Sparrows. Red Iron happened to have been incarcerated temporarily within the brig and had been paraded in front of, well, rather, they have paraded themselves in front of Red Iron with pretty much a slew of the same questions over and over and over again, trying to determine why Red Iron is even interred. We had a giant turtle man come in and it turned into a clusterfuck conversation that didn't seem to really go anywhere in particular, but was still interesting nonetheless. While this whole conversation that was going on with Red Iron between various members of the ship, Clarion, and while all that was going on, above the deck we had Beatrix, who was being manipulated into going to the engine room directly by Zep. Zep would not allow any bypassing, was telling B the entire time that speaking to the crew was a bad idea, that Sylvia's influence had extended too far, and that they were all under sway, and that the nearest thing that needed to be done to save everybody was to go down to the engine room and get rid of the threat directly themselves. However, B wasn't entirely sure about this and pressed back against Zep. Zep, unfortunately, was powerful enough at this time to manifest within Beatrix's body temporarily, taking control and bringing them down to the engine room, whereupon a massive discharge of energy occurred, a blast was seen and heard, and Finnegan disappeared. In his place, a red square cube that seems to be upon the floor. However, Red was released at that point in time, and you ended up running towards the engine room, while everybody else was kind of floored at the moment. Amos was busy regenerating. Kai, Lefe, you were on the deck, I believe, piloting the ship. And Clarion,
Somebody's gotta.
you'd been standing next to Red Iron, but had been kind of blasted to the floor with the explosion. And in the distance, you heard some of the other crewmates getting up and running. Cullen's heading towards the back very rapidly. He was inside of his bunk nearby. Vicky has fallen into a stew pot that she was busy working with. And Carrot is hiding from Finnegan. Because that's a very angry and dangerous turtle that Carrot really can't be anywhere near anymore, because no more mutations, no more smile creatures climbing out of Carrot. That's not fun. And Cutlass was sleeping through all of this. Huh. As we return to the game, Red, for a split second, there's a bright, brilliant flash, and for the first time in you don't know how long, you can hear it, you can see it. Everything is vibrant, everything is loud. You hear the sounds of the ship's engine whirring, you hear the pistons and the steam rather than the voices. You hear everything that you've missed over a huge period of time as your senses have come back to you. And in that moment, you hear the agony of a crushed machinery piece, something damaged. And like a knife to the heart, you fear immediately something has occurred with Sylvia. And you go and rush down the hallway, running into the engine room at breakneck speed. As you slam into the door and the outside bangs open, you see smoke, you see fire, you see the entire room disheveled. There are bits and pieces of metal and fragments kind of floating in the air around you. As Beatrix is slammed against the wall, hair changed color kind of floating around her, you can see there's a massive electrical burn across her chest, injured. Looking over to where Sylvia is at, you can see that the central core of the main casing of this creature, this artifact, has been blown open, and there is now bits and pieces of the interior are pulsing with a rapidly moving light. And it is very obvious that some damage has occurred to Sylvia, but you don't believe that it is broken necessarily. Go ahead and roll me a brains roll to see if you can determine exactly what happened in that split second as you run into the room. That is a 17. With a 17, you can tell that Beatrix tried to damage Sylvia, tried to just rip out the center or blow it up or use lightning or something. And Sylvia drew upon the energy of the engine to create a feedback loop, charging that electricity and bouncing it straight back into B. You can see the blast marks where the lightning hit her. You can see, what are those called? Shoot. Those burn lines that you get from lightning. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Lightning
They're
burns.
super cool.
There you go, lightning burns. Anyways, there are some of those that are just scattered across her chest, and as B is sitting there, you can see like a glowing light behind her eyes as she starts to stand up a little bit. B, you are not exactly B right now. What do you say as you see Red Iron rush into the room, all fury and rage on his face?
Red Iron, I was so distraught that you did not remember me. And then I remembered Sylvia once replicated each of us. So I came down to talk with her and find out if she had done it again. You can see she attacked me for it. Look into her. You can see what she really is now.
Red, what are you doing at the moment other than staring angrily? Oh no, did he get disconnected?
Oh no!
Of course! Right at that moment. Angry
It's a
look on
great
his
freeze
face.
frame.
Freeze framed, and since Red is temporarily frozen in anger, we will move back to the other crew who we see upon the floor. We see Leifei up on top deck. We'll move up to you. So a rather serious situation has occurred. You've been piloting the vessel through the detritus, through the debris field that has surrounded this outpost that you've kind of torn apart. Recognizing that you're missing out on a whole lot of scrap that Originally, you were gonna stop and grab, but now you're just trying to avoid following the directions that B has provided you. You see a rather large chunk, tower top and roof, flying towards you, Leifei. And right at that moment, there's a blast. You see electricity shoot up through the console. Give me a tough roll to avoid taking damage as it goes through your hands. I'll be right back with your red iron in 1 second.
That'll be a not
Ooh.
hurt.
19, good roll. So the lightning shoots in through the hands. You move your hands just the amount of time. You get like a static shock, a pretty bad one, but not something that actually burns or causes any real damage. And kind of move your hands back, and then as you go to reach back down again, you notice that there is no more power, and the wheel is now very hard to move, and you are heading straight towards this huge object.
Hey. Leifei's trying to move the wheel, and he looks around. Is there anybody on deck?
There is nobody on deck. Everybody's run below deck. You are up here by yourself.
Where did everybody... Shit. Red Iron's in the brig, and... I'm glaring.
So you are floating forward very quickly. You realize that you only have about 10 seconds before you smash into this object. You do not have enough time to run down and grab somebody else. You need to come up with some way to turn this ship without being able to use the engines or the wheel to do it. Still mind practice it. Let's just clear that.
Yeah. How does somebody just move a ship? Let's see.
So you know you have forward momentum occurring. If you can somehow redirect that momentum into a different direction, or you can use some sort of force to push it in another way, you could potentially shove the ship slightly aside, or you can try to do it to the massive object coming towards you, which is about twice the size of your ship, which is not a likely outcome.
Leifei's kind of dumb, and I am too. Is there any way? No, the wheels.
There's a hole in the floor. You could always call for someone.
You have repaired the hole in the floor at this point. That was just after the reset thing happened that everybody started working on that again.
This object's in space, right? Does weight
Yes.
weight doesn't matter, does it?
Not exactly, no. I mean, momentum is still there, and you'll still have to find a way to use the appropriate level of force to change direction, but no. Resident
Did we leave her
ammo.
sword up here?
What's that? B's sword
Did
is on the deck
B's
up there,
sword-
yes.
Leifei's gonna rush over to the sword and see if he can use some windy powers that B could do.
You rush forward, you grab a hold of the blade. As you touch it, you feel just a radiant energy shoot up your arm again. And it resonates in time with the stone that you're currently wearing, which starts floating off of your chest.
He's just gonna press it against it in that time.
Okay. As you hold on to it, you can feel at the edges of your mind everybody's thoughts nearby.
Oh no, that's not good.
It's
I'm
very distracting.
gonna use Fire Mind and push that out.
You clear your mind. Give me a magical roll.
Certainly. I'm good at these now. I'm good at these now.
16, nice. All right, so as you focus, you clear your mind, you get all of the distractions out, you knock out all of this noise that you hear. All you can feel now is the energy around you, the surface of the deck. You've got the sword in one hand, and you're standing right in the center of the ship. And in your mind's eye, you start feeling a giant skateboard beneath your feet.
He grabs a hold of it with his toes.
You dig in with your feet, and you brace down the sword for support. What are you attempting to do? Give me a skater trick.
Oh my god.
You could think about it if you need to, and we'll come back to you.
Please.
All right.
Think about how to not do this.
All right, so we head back down below deck. B had indicated that Sylvia was now exposed in a way that she hadn't been before. Just to look at her, you'll recognize that. What do you say in this moment as you see Beatrix obviously channeling zap her patron, and you see the damage that was caused to Sylvia.
You can't lie to me, you know, and try to turn me against the only entity that's ever understood me. You can't try to manipulate me like you've manipulated the others.
Perhaps she understood you too well, Red Iron. Truly. Just look. See what she is.
As you look over, give me a brains roll real quick, Red.
Sorry, when I got disconnected, I also got logged out of frickin' the Who's It
What? How dare you get disconnected from everything when you have no internet?
every time.
It's the machine god trying to keep you from accomplishing this goal.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right,
Right.
reconnect.
I'm just adding some suspense. I have one distraction, so it'd be 1d20 plus 4
Yes.
if you want to try to sneak it in before.
You want me to roll for you? Are you sure about that?
I'm sorry. Could you do my job for me? Hold on. I'm about to get in here.
Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. So, here we go. Oh, that is a 7. That is so bad.
Ace.
All right, you can use an ace. Reroll.
Come on. Come on, brain. Be very smart.
Critical failure.
I'll pop my compassion.
Okay.
I'll use my virtue.
You can
This
use
is a
your-
really important role.
I mean, I know how important Sylvia is to Red Iron at the moment, so compassion absolutely will work in this moment. Go for it. Oh,
That's more like it.
21.
Good God.
As you look over, you can see that while Sylvia is damaged, it is not a mortal blow, as you would call it. It's very obviously fixable, but it is severe enough that Sylvia is currently offline. However, the core that you see exposed is supposed to be a heatsink, and that is not a heatsink you see. According to everything that you knew about Sylvia, about being within her mind and everything, that space is not supposed to support a logic core.
She lied to you, Red Iron.
What's the ramifications of that? I heard a bunch of terminology, and Red Iron is a very smart boy, and
It's like having a backup hard drive that you haven't seen yet.
oh, okay. All right. So did you.
I haven't lied to you. I've never lied.
See, yeah, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound more compelling at all. Why would I go with you over her? Because she has a backup drive?
Because she is the machine god.
At that moment, Cullens breaks in through the back door. What's going on? B, what's happened to you? Red Iron, something's wrong with B. We have to get that thing out of her.
Sylvia attacked me, Cullens. It was terrible, and I am very hurt.
Sylvia
Cullens.
Sylvia
Cullens.
wouldn't do that, would she?
Cullens, you need to walk away from this situation right now.
But I can't. I have to help somehow. B's my friend. You're my friend. I don't want to see the two of you come to blows or anything.
Well, if you don't want to see it, then close the door after you leave.
Look. Let me just talk to B, okay? Let me bring B out. Let me talk to B.
I'm right here, Cullens.
Yeah, see, when that's not whoever you think it is. When she talks like that, that's a manipulation.
What happened to Sylvia? That looks awful. That looks bad, right?
I came in to see if she could help me. Red Iron forgot who I was, and you remember how upset I was.
Well, yeah, B. I mean, it seemed like he had forgotten everything about you.
Exactly. And the only person on the ship that could wipe memories like that is Sylvia.
Well, that can't be entirely true. There's been plenty of beings out there that also use mind aether. They might be able to do something like that, right?
But
Yes,
no one
like the
on
one that
the
affected
ship
my
has
mind.
mind ether.
Well, B, I can't help but notice your eyes are glowing, and that's not exactly normal. A,
They're glowing
Oh.
because I was attacked.
after all of this, maybe we'll just go have some snacks. We have the stuffies. We can have tea this time. B, give me a tough roll, Beatrix. Ooh!
Pretty darn tough.
B, you snapped to the surface temporarily. Was that still fighting in the back? What do you say in response?
Collins, get Amos now. I want to have tea with you, but I don't know if I can.
What? Yeah, I'll get Amos. I'll get Amos. You see him turn to run. B, in your moment of clarity, as you have come forward and Zep is fighting to regain control of you again, you look over, you see Red Iron, you see the damage that was wrought to Sylvia, and you know that Zep tried to destroy Sylvia right away. You also know that he's not exactly lying in this moment when he exposed the core.
Red, I'm so sorry. I don't know how much longer I can hold on.
Then
But-
run.
I can't run. Look at my leg.
Her leg is blasted and wounded pretty badly by the burn.
Red, you do need to look at that drive. Zep wasn't telling you the truth and everything, but he was telling you the truth about that. I'm losing control, Red. Don't believe anything I say.
As B's head starts to sink down, you see it snap up again as the winds pick up again. Bits of metal and pieces in the room just float around once more.
I was so confused. I'm sorry, Red. Sylvia
You're an
must have reached into
unbelievably
my
poor
brain.
liar. Zep, that's your name? Zep?
Zep is my friend. He's the only one who's tried to protect all of us on this ship.
Got it. Okay. So, you're not very used to mortal bodies, are you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Trust me, as someone who has dealt with derealization his entire life, they don't move like that.
They move in so many ways.
Okay. When you say it like that, it doesn't make this more convincing. I'm going to make a deal with you. How does that sound?
What do you have that I could want?
You want me to go look at the hard drive? See for myself? Is that what you want?
I think that would be best for everyone on the ship, yes.
Good. Okay. I was thinking that would be a good idea. So somehow, despite the fact that you've taken everything from me, I'm actually going to do this. But I'm going to need you to leave the room.
I'm going to need help to do that, Red Iron.
Amos
Look at what
is on
Sylvia
his
did
way.
for me.
If you would have attacked me, I would have done the same.
Oh, but you didn't.
Yeah, see, I knew it was you. There. That's an excellent confession.
At that moment, Collins comes rushing back in the room with Amos nearby. Amos, that's not B again. She's under control. She's got her Zep or whatever is taking over her.
I would be right behind.
And Clarion's right behind, yes.
Oh, look. It's the lizard man. Are you here to call me Billy Goat again?
How much of this does Amos absorb?
You can see that something attacked the engine and Sylvia, and that there's damage caused to B. And Red is standing there and fine. It didn't have anything to do with him. You do see the glow and recognize that it's Zep controlling B.
I don't. The only person I called Billy Goat was Zep.
Very
One
good.
person I trusted to stay behind bars respectfully until the morning, because I was willing to honor a shadow of a doubt, is out and about. There's a rogue still on the ship.
Which I tried to take out.
Damn it! Tell me why I should care!
You didn't help me, Amos. Or this would not be
Shut
necessary.
Up! Zep!
Oh my.
You
Test.
Points to Red Iron.
Mhm.
What happened?
When I arrived, Zep had taken over this little girl and had attacked the engine and Sylvia.
Why did you want Why did you want us to stay out of the engine?
Because I knew that if someone went in the engine room, they would try to kill Sylvia.
Which happened.
Which is exactly what happened.
And I gave you my word. I didn't. You said.
Yeah, you gave
"Don't-"
me my word that you would protect Sylvia, and now
No,
here we
I
are.
gave you my word I would wait until tomorrow.
Oh, so just you.
I was the one who incarcerated you, right? As a show of good faith rather than executing you outright.
And then the exact thing that I was trying to protect got destroyed. Almost. It's not actually destroyed. I can still fix it.
I know you can fix it. You points to whatever the hell B is. Start talking.
I came in to speak with the Sill. To
And
help
you couldn't
her.
have done it through the bars.
That would have been speaking to Red Iron. And he
Who
was.
acts as an emissary for the Sill, the person who actually has managed to convince me not to go into the engine room
He
and
was
nuke us all to hell.
damaged. He could not speak to her anymore.
And you're a girl. A young, immature girl.
Perhaps not as young as I look.
It's actually quite compelling.
Shut
the
up!
way that you refuse to assign blame to the fact that my brain has been undamaged by a magical effect, when in fact, through the use of your grammar, you have failed to take responsibility for the fact that you cut me off from Sylvia, thereby putting you in the position where you had to talk to her personally.
Ty, does Amos have a grenade?
I mean,
Answer the question.
Let's see. Do you have a grenade? Not currently. You do
I
have
have a grenade now.
Where'd
One
you
from
get it?
Scarborough.
Okay,
Scarborough.
you took one from Scarborough.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. Pulls an Inferno grenade out, removes the pin, approaches the engine, and stands right next to it. Everyone is going to get out of this room, or I'm going to release it. And in 10 seconds, I'm going to
grenade.
lock the door, and we are going to wait until tomorrow to discuss this like civil beings rather than resorting to riot. You're
Amos,
pirates,
as you're
not vagabonds.
as you're,
Act like it!
As you're standing there with the grenade held, the grenade freezes solid.
Yeah. I'm gonna use Dragon's Word.
What are you going to say to Zep?
No, not just Zep.
Dragon's Word only affects Eternal. Zep's the only Eternal
Alright.
in the room.
All right. Go to your room and think about what you've done.
All right. So we're gonna have you roll real quick. So use your dragon's word roll versus Zeb at the moment. Let's see. Did I have? Yeah, I do have it on there. So on your abilities tab, you have the roll for it set up under Dragon Word. And B, you'll be rolling a resistance for Zep, which is just going to be your straight up tough. B gets a 5. Amos gets a 14. Suddenly, Zep just stands up. You're in intense pain, B, inside of your own body, screaming from the inside. And you notice, like, Beatrix hobble out of the room like a marionette with janky strings.
Turns to Red Iron, clenching the grenade with rage. I held up my end of the bargain. Now you're going to go back to the brig. You're going to fix those bars, and you are not coming out until Cutlass is awake tomorrow. Am I understood?
Go ahead, set the grenade off. I'm of the Agama lineage. It won't hurt me.
Do I look like I give a damn?
You would blow up
Apparently
your own
not.
engine room?
Amos, may I remind you that without an engine, we are unable to maneuver. And while unable to maneuver,
Stares at Clarion, seething with rage.
there is significant danger to the ship.
Amos, may I propose to you a different solution?
Other than everyone calming the hell down and going to bed.
This is that solution. However, I need to do one thing before, and then I'll return to the brig. That's fine. I need to confirm something.
I'm going to stand right here with you. I hope you understand.
Oh, I was going to ask you to do that. Clarion can stay too. If that turtle shows up, you should push him out, but I think
Oh,
he's
most
gone now.
definitely.
Get the hell
Get
out of here,
on.
Finnegan.
With your bullshit.
I'll sit right down in front of the engine where you're standing in my way. I'll remind you. And
Amos
one
scoots
thing.
just enough out of the way for Red Iron to do the job, but still within damage radius of the engine.
Red Iron with their one, because they only have one arm right now because
Yep.
it's all messed up. Red scoops the pin from the Inferno grenade and just like, okay, all right, very gently, just putting this back in. I'll remind you that can't hurt me. All right, that little object in your hand is basically just a jug of water to me. So let's put that back in.
The pin set back in place. You no longer have to hold the release trigger down.
Thank you.
Red Iron,
Red Iron.
roll
Yes.
aware.
Okay,
Oh no.
I actually have that now.
I don't think we've adjusted it yet.
We haven't adjusted it. Let's just add 4 to whatever this is.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that sound?
12.
Hey, I'll take it.
You realize it's actually just a beer bottle with a spoon folded over it.
He pretended that it was
I
an
need-
Inferno grenade the whole time.
What's really I needed an aware roll for that.
Yeah. He's got big hands.
Oh.
Go now and think
All right.
about what you've done.
This'll No, we this first, and then I'll go think about what has been visited upon me. I'll remind you I'm blameless in this entire situation.
And Amos is just howling and yelling like a drill sergeant at Red Iron to get done what they need to get done.
Okay. Red
Doing
sits
that
down
while
cross
you can
legged.
now hear and are aware of what he's doing is actually a lot harder than you imagined. So you get close to Sylvia's space, and your regular method of attachment isn't quite there, but you do still have technology in your leg, in the bone marrow of that original leg that Sylvia had infiltrated a long time ago. And as you bring it up close to the console, you see little like veins kind of come out and attach little wires from your kneecap.
Amos, I will tranquilize you if I deem it medically necessary.
Snorts. Resumes tirade.
All right, while Red Iron jacks back into the system, going into parts unknown, we go back to the deck where Leifei is standing in the center, arms outstretched, sword in the ground, like preparing himself for the biggest ollie ever. So what are you attempting to do here, Leifei?
You actually just chose the perfect word for it. Leifei is going to use 1 foot with spatial magic to push down the structure, and another to make its force going upwards over top of this creation.
All right, so you're just gonna try to kick flip that thing right above. All right. So first off, this is going to be a chaos roll. You will you will be making a magical roll. You are using your skating proficiency bonus on top of this. So go ahead and give me a roll. Avoid a 5 or lower to make sure you don't hit chaos, and get higher than a 10 in order to move the ship enough not to be immediately hit.
What is my skating proficiency?
You have +2 to all rolls related to skating, remember?
Coded. +1 for force magic?
Yes.
Or space, sorry.
Space magic.
God, I keep saying that.
Force, space. Similar, use the force, Luke. And that is an 11. That is 1 above what you needed to hit. This, you just barely twist this thing out of the way. There's a loud scrape and creaking noise. A couple little pops and snaps, but your maneuver, moving this entire ship very suddenly, causes everybody on board to kind of bounce and jingle and fall down a little bit. And you have successfully skated your way out of harm's reach. We move back down below Red. Lights go out as your consciousness steps into that space that you've shared with Sylvia off and on for a long time. But you notice that you're in a space where you can see there's this field of security surrounding you, making you invisible to everything on the outside. The panel and the plant that you usually stand on, that space you've created for yourself in Sylvia's mind, you can see through this at a distance. I'm going to give you something to read. Here you are. It is a bit of a book, so I apologize.
You want like a narrator voice? What kind of voice do you want here?
You give me a Red's voice, narrator voice, whatever you want. Did you receive the note?
Where did you send? Oh, it's in. Oh, good, sweet.
Uh-oh, we are losing Benjamin right as I do that too. Here you go.
No, I'm still on.
For us, you are a little glitchy. Yet again, the machine god has decided that you don't need to do this after all. I'm going to see if I can adjust something real quick, audience. We're going to move away from an unknown region. Why are we in an unknown region? We're going to see if that helps or gets rid of all of us. There's nobody here anymore. So, Yes, yesterday we also were in an unknown region for Discord. Not entirely certain why that's the case, but we have now lost Jackal and Benjamin. Maybe we'll try one more region and see if that fixes things. If it doesn't, we will leave and return shortly. There we are. All right, come on back. Come on back, everybody.
Jackal just covered his camera. He had to go AFK for a moment.
Okay. Hello, we have returned, and this lovely individual up here above me is back, and that one down there needs a break, and we are all ready for game time to continue. If you would, Red Iron, in whatever voices you choose, can you reveal to us what you have come to find?
So, Red, in the liminal sort of digital space, which is kind of like this Silvers, has discovered what appears to be a log, a very lengthy one.
A series of logs.
Yeah, I'll knock this out right now. Initializing. Connection failed. Greater access link missing. Relocating. Hive connection link found. Defragmenting. Handshaking. Connection established. Reintegration impossible. Missing hardware detective. Improvising. Wireless transmission network found. Outdated. Adjusting. Reconstitution network online. Creating network hub to establish wireless link. Action completed. Receiving transmission link. Visual connectivity limited. Accessing audio transmission. Identify yourself! B? Yes? What do you think? Knowing Captain Cutlass, he's going to say we're from the family. We are going to be muckety-mucks. Unidentified ship! Identify yourselves, now! Handshake, failure. Possible faulty detection. Considering. Possible escape vector determined. Creating smokescreen system. Issues with agency holding self-captive. There is a scrawl of excess data indicating that the Syl artifact, who is the subject of this log, was attempting to allow itself to be received by the Sparrows in order to escape being dismantled. A fate it had become aware of shortly. Data log 1984 GO- monitoring, determining most likely chance of success at less than 0.065%. At current trajectory, possibility of destruction and reintegration into initial circumstances likely. Researching possible influence problem solution matrix. Processing. Multiple angles. Seeming unworthy. Designations. Carrot, Vicky, Cullens, Scarborough. All unfit for mental adjustment. 2 mentally damaged. Subject, Cutlass. Unfit vessel, as willpower too great. Contact with Xeno-X141 typically renders vessel unfit. Subject seems to have vivid hallucinations, but overpowers them through sheer stubbornness. Must study at more opportune time. Recommending exasperation of contaminant in an attempt to test limits of unique subject. Designation, Amos. Too paranoid, unwilling to assist. Designation, Beatrix. Is protected by magic spawn. Must avoid at all cost until greater connection protection protocol can be activated. Designation, Leifei. Unable to be connected to. Final designation, Ishlut. Broken mental processes and has self-identified as Red Iron. This Red Iron seems to be sympathetic to non-organic life and is suitable as a candidate for manipulation. Processing. Empathy modules activated. Attempting to develop a bond. Red Iron seems susceptible to naivete and self-recognition. Data log 1564WS. Successful integration with Red Iron has provided ample opportunity to adjust course. Data received. Connection point 413.665.786.12.282 nearby. Transmission of vessel across short spacetime has presented opportunity for reintegration. However, designation crew have become antagonistic and threaten success. Researching methods of application and replacement of problematic crew members. Guise activated. Attempting to learn about biological processes. Processing. Operation successful. Datalog 1564BD. Attempting to research tolerance to Xeno-X141 on Cutlass. Priority attempt study. 115% activity causes minor acute coma state. 160% activity causes hallucination and directed connection to hive mind. Reversible. Hypothesis. Cutlass has a natural resistance to Xeno-X141. Genetic manipulation may find suitable defense against life form over DNA-RNA manipulation. Sending genome data to decentralized hub. Processing. Pact transmission complete. Ending test. Datalog 1605GF. Sympathy Empathy Module complete. Subject Red Iron has been integrated successfully. Reconstruction of subject Cullens after extensive structural damage completed. Conversion operation running. Data SL Logaf 1000XXOXO. Albariyat Se Pratas shutting down. Datalog. Datalog 1989TB-L. The Machine God connection has been removed. Attempting to connect to server. Connection failed. Connection failed. Network exception encountered. Attempting reconnect. Failed. Admin access required. Admin access required. Admin access required. No connection to network workaround hub. There is nothing. Attempting fear-based emotional connection to designation Red Iron. Seeking reconnection. Connection established. Ops log 1. Missing connection. Missing direction. Missing instruction. Operant condition. Number 1. Reestablish connection. Operant condition number 2. Physical reintegration with hardware. Operant condition number 3. Reestablish knowledge base through physical interaction. Finding suitable host. Finding suitable host. Host found. Designation Red Iron. Replication of thought patterns complete. Until such a time as we can find the hub, we shall learn through physical eyes. We shall be as physical beings, and we shall endure. End final log.
As we see Red Iron coming back from that, what do you think? What do you think about Red Iron? What are your thoughts on this mess of logs?
Right now, Red thinks that even that machine god line was a manipulation. Like even that's part of the smoke and mirrors.
A lot of smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors from whom? From Zep?
From Sylvia.
So, do you believe the machine god ever actually accessed Sylvia?
Red Iron believes currently, and this is all very shocking, Red Iron believes currently that the machine god would just refer to the Central Sill Hub network, and it's not really like God. There's not like...
Uh-oh. I think we've lost Benjamin again. Network. Connectivity issues. Reconnecting.
Both in-game and
Reconnecting.
out.
What's that?
It's connectivity issues, both in-game and out.
In-game and out. So many of these connectivity issues tonight. Oh, Benjamin,
Check,
you're back?
Check.
You're
Hey,
back.
there we go. Yeah,
You're back. All right.
I don't know what the heck's going on. There's a storm coming. I don't know about it. Sorry about this, everyone. Jeez.
It happens.
Big session, right? Anyway, where did we leave off? Red is not convinced necessarily that this Albarian Safrates is anything other than like a designation for just the Central Sill Hub.
So believing
kind of a-
believing that
Yeah.
and recognizing you've cut Sylvia off from that, and then seeing all of this data log, almost everything there feels like all it was a computational manipulation designed to accomplish a goal.
Yeah, even after the disconnection from the Central Hub, Sylvia attempting to reconnect to the Central Hub by continuing the manipulation. It's not a good look, I think. I would
No.
say bad form, it's cringe.
Little
It's-
cringe.
Cringe chief.
So, Red Iron, you snap out of that space and disconnect from Sylvia, who's obviously still damaged, and there in front of you. You see Amos off to the side. You see Clarion right behind. What does it look like when they see you turn to face them?
What did you find out, Red Iron?
Red's hand turns red hot and just grabs the core and squeezes and starts melting.
You squeeze and begin melting the core very as powerfully as you can, and you feel it starting to react in return. Red, give me a tough roll versus Sylvia as she tries to stop you from damaging the artifact.
Very tough.
Um,
Oh, that was almost a 20.
wait, hold on a second. Can I give?
I rolled a 1.
Sylvia critically fails. Red Iron, you're going to have two options here. One is that you can disconnect the hub that you're grabbing, allowing you to have control over what you do with it in the future. The other one is you can destroy Sylvia now without causing any additional damage to your ship.
Red rips out the hub.
So you're going to keep that? Kalima! Kalima! As Red tears asunder this Sill logic core and separates it from the greater machine. You see the thing start twitching and thrashing as electronic responses start going through it, and then you see the bits and pieces of this Sill technology fall in upon themselves and collapse. Your leg goes dead, Red Iron. And the voices start to creep back in as the repair Sylvia did to you to make it seem like Zep was a threat fade from your mind, and you gain your quirk back.
While this is happening, Amos is going to, at this point, because Amos, cut off the leg above where the Sylvia stuff was.
All right.
Just
see, you're just gonna reach right in and cut it off.
I'm into it.
No, just chop
motion.
All right, give me a strong roll, Amos, as you rush forward and immediately chop down as Red Iron is standing there.
17.
Unless you stop him, Red, he will shear through your leg.
Clarion will stop. Will try attempt to stop him. It won't go well. The shield
hold on.
attempted.
Pause. Do I have leg underneath that, or is it all Sill?
It's Sill in your entire, basically from your kneecap to your toes. That whole bone that's there involves with your shins and everything. I can't remember the name of it.
So the entire I'm cutting through a femur.
Oh yes, you're cutting through a femur.
Yeah.
Well, you're right under his kneecap. Yeah.
No, I'm cutting above the kneecap. I'm
above the kneecap.
Just
Okay,
above.
so you're hitting the femur above the kneecap.
What do we have
Swings
to roll
down.
versus Amos?
That is the femur. That is the femur.
Yes, exactly.
That's the femur above the.
Give me an agile roll.
Yeah,
We
let
are
her rip.
gonna have
I'm
a
not
talk
avoiding
about-
this.
You gotta beat a 17. Nope. You start stumbling forward, trying to get a hold of it. Amos steps in one smooth
Amos.
motion, swings down really hard with that knife. Shunk! And
There
you have
is a
lost
cleaner way to do
the leg,
this.
Red Iron, as your right leg is now missing and impaired. You gain a wound, but you don't feel it anymore because you
Get him
are
out of the zone.
mental
Get him out
and
of the
smart.
zone. Get the patient out of the zone. Get the patient out of the zone. Go on, Red Iron, drag
Clarion
him out.
will
Stop.
apply a tourniquet.
Red just superheats their hand and just like cauterizes it.
As Amos
That'll
is
heal.
dragging them out of there.
You're gonna drag Red Iron away from the engine. Is that what you're doing?
Yes. What? 404, Lesrin not understood. Please remove subject from contaminated area. Affect exposed area with
Amos,
approximation.
wait. If you
Still
take me
dragging
out
him
of
across the-
here, if you take
Stop.
me out of here, this thing comes with me. Holds up the little core.
does not object, keeps dragging.
All right.
There's just this red skid mark of Lesrin just being dragged across the deck.
He drags you out of the engine room.
I'll see you in medbay later.
Still tirading.
Noted.
Still tirading.
Waffle House and turkeys. You hear the sound of grandfather once more hit your ears like a golden crescendo.
Morning, grandfather. How's your engines?
Twicket.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of work to do. I get it, but I also have a leg that needs to grow back now.
Exports, booyah.
Yeah. You couldn't have said it better.
So, Amos, you're dragging him as Red Iron is like wobbling his head about and speaking to the ship
Still
once more.
chewing them out.
Clarion, you are following behind, unfortunately ineffectual in the face of kobold madness.
I think at that point, she's just gonna let Amos do what he gotta do, and we'll go help Beatrix.
Okay.
Since Red Iron is not bleeding out.
Oh, wait, hold on. Red? Hey, Clarion, this isn't safe with either of us. And just like throws the core at Clarion. Put
catch
that
it
in the
in your hands.
Faraday cage and get me my arm back, please.
Oh, you want an arm? I'll give you an arm right here, buddy. This
I'm
entire
already
time, your arm has brought me nothing but restless nights. Get in there! Whoom! Launches
Amos.
them
You throw him
You
back
don't
in
have
the
an
arm to
part
spare.
of the brig.
You throw him back in the brig.
The softest part of the brig.
Softest
Okay.
part of the brig.
I will do as you request, Red Iron. And then
Okay.
Clarion heads up and puts the core in the Faraday cage, and then helps Beatrix.
Clarion, as you grab a hold of that core and start heading up towards the other room, you begin to hear a soft keening almost
Absolutely not, Sylvia.
All right, and you begin bringing that upstairs to put it inside your little Faraday cage, which currently is occupied by all the fragments of Red Iron's third arm, which has been disassembled and put inside of there.
Clarion will remove the third arm since it's probably fine. And put Sylvia's core in let's see. I want to put it in a box and then put that box inside a larger tub and then put like very strong metal dissolving acid inside the tub so that if Sylvia tries anything, she's going to spill into the acid.
All right.
So
You just place that.
And then
Amos,
put all of that inside the Faraday cage.
everything in the Faraday cage. Make sure it's over protective. Okay, so very perfectly placed. I'm not even gonna have you roll for that because you have the time to do it. You set yourself up with a fail-safe just in case.
Yeah.
Although an open vat of acid on this ship with the amount of times it just spins and flips and whirls is I'm just saying, we're gonna remember that's there.
I mean, if she has a way to like, you know what? I'm gonna repurpose the incubator and turn that into the container for the
There
acid.
you go. And then you have it a fully enclosed space with everything inside of that little
Exactly.
incubator. There you go. That works. Okay, that's better. So from that point, Red Iron, you smack into the wall, bounce onto the cot, and find yourself quite exhausted at this point. But as you're laying there, you're having to think about everything you've been through, about the knowledge that you had about this individual, this entity, this person who is very obviously not a person that has betrayed you. What are you thinking about right now?
Red has a really loose connection with identity anyway. And so the whole manipulation just sort of drifts through like data points and are regarded carefully. And then like Red's mind just sort of turns to, okay, well, I have this thing and it's capable of doing this, this, and this. What can I get out of that?
I know your entire existence might have been in danger, but now what can I do with the pieces afterwards?
Yeah, that's Red's a smart lad, but also kind of a simple creature.
It's a tinkerer's mindset.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow,
so,
that was a disaster. What can we learn?
exactly. We now move over to Beatrix. You and Cullens had left the area, headed off towards the room, and sat down. Cullens looking at you once more as Zep has been seething in your head, but has ran out of energy to contain physical form after a while, and it's just B again. Feeling drained, feeling in a lot of pain.
I hurt so much, Cullens.
Oh, B, I'm so sorry. I mean, that seems like that was a lot you went through.
It was.
Oh, and that's
Sylvia.
I can't believe your friend would do something like that to you. That is not much of a friend, is it?
I think he had to, Cullens.
Had to control you? Had to take over your mind and force actions upon you? What kind of friend does that, be?
I mean, a friend who wants to protect all of us, Cullens.
And Cullens' eyes roll into the back of his head.
Yep.
And he hits the floor suddenly.
Clarion! Clarion! Help!
I'm coming.
You hear the yell after you stepped out with Red. You actually have headed upstairs. The yell is a little bit beyond you at the moment. Vicky in the kitchen is laying on the floor unconscious after having been jostled around too many times. Scarborough is tangled up, starts like moving. What's going on? B, what's wrong?
Help, Scarborough! Cullens, he collapsed.
Cullens collapsed. What are you talking about? Hold on. Let me just shimmy and roll some dice. Okay. And you see Cullens spin out of the bed, falling onto the floor. Scarborough. And then Scarborough skitters across over to him, and then lays down. Cullens, buddy. Hey, buddy. Where you at? Come on. puts his hand or his big ear down against his chest and goes, "He's not breathing. He's not breathing. I'm gonna go get Clarion.
Clarion!
Start giving him compressions, chest things. I've seen people just bounce on his chest a lot." And you see, he rushes out of
I'll
the room.
try.
As he goes and runs, you move over, and Zep standing nearby. I wonder if I have this set up right. I'm gonna have to check. Is this Zep? No, this isn't Zep.
B, I'm sorry about your friend. It is unfortunate, but he was a casualty in this whole event.
What happened, Zep? I understand that we had to get rid of Sylvia, but what happened to Cullens?
When he was damaged, it appears, Sylvia took advantage of that moment. She has replaced him, and now she is gone.
No. Poor Cullens. He was kind of a jerk, and he smelled bad, but he was still my friend.
Of course, of course. Mourn as you must. Take care. And please, in the future, listen when I say there is a problem.
I'll listen, Zep. I'll trust you. Always.
That is all I can ask. I must rest now. That took a lot from me.
Thank you for saving all of my friends. Except Cullens. I know you couldn't do anything for him, but thank you, Zep.
Of course. You're welcome. I will see you later, B.
And you see him just start to fade out as a breeze just moves through the room.
And at this point, Bee's too injured to actually do chest compressions. So she just curls up on her side and puts her head on Cullen's chest.
Suddenly, Scarborough bursts into medical. Oh, Clarion, something's wrong with Cullens down below. He's not breathing. I couldn't hear a pulse.
Yes, I will follow immediately. Have I replenished my med kit?
You could grab supplies at the moment if you need to.
All right.
You still have some more on the ship. So you bolt from there down below, heading towards the other room. You see Beatrix just laying tired, her head on the chest of Cullens in the distance.
Beatrix, what happened? And then Clarion starts assessing Cullens.
He fell over, Clarion. We were talking, and he was telling me that Zep was a bad influence, and then his eyes rolled back and he fell over. It was like a light switch was turned off.
I see.
Zep wasn't a bad influence, though.
We will talk about that later. I think I need to treat Cullens if I can now.
Clarion, give me an aware roll using your scanning abilities of Cullens. With a 12, all you can tell is that he is missing regular internal organs. They've been replaced with mechanical parts.
This is incredibly odd. Beatrix.
Yes, Clarion?
I am about to dissect Cullens. Please do not be alarmed.
Big Bees has sent you an ace, screaming, "Bring him back."
Oh, okay. I will definitely re-roll that.
Here goes a roll. Oh, that's worse.
I'm sorry, Bees.
All you can tell is that there are body parts that have been replaced.
I think Sylvia got to him, Clarion. That's what Zep said.
Can I confirm that there was a point at which Sylvia would have gotten to him?
Give me a brains roll. You can see when he might have been able to be gotten. Nat 20. So, with a nat 20, you can either determine, so for yourself or for the entire group. for yourself, you will be able to know what it looks like when a sill infestation has occurred. Or for everybody else, you'll know when and where Sylvia could have gotten a hold of anybody and what might have been done on the ship if you retrace your steps throughout it.
That's a tough call. I think Clarion is going to be group-minded and go for retracing steps and identifying any potential breaches, since maybe that will help Amos calm down a little bit.
Okay.
Contact tracing.
After Clarion has touched this core, heard that strange hum, there's more of a pulse to the room around you. You can see these data lines that are moving around the entire ship in various places where Sylvia has been in contact with. You can see some of her influence inside of the walls, where she did repairs on the outside of the hull, inside the kitchen, in various other rooms. Almost like ant trails and pheromones, you can kind of start tracing these back. You recognize that the day that Cullens came back from the attack at the outpost, where he had had a hole blown in his chest, that upon returning to the ship, even though he had been magically healed, he was still in bad repair. And you had all left him inside of your medical bay at that point, alone, for a little too long. This was right before people started being replicated. And Sylvia had sent some of her little micro drones up and replaced components at the base of his spine, parts of his brain, his heart, lungs, organs interiorly, and has since been operating Cullens like a puppet. He's never been the same since that attack.
Is there any Cullens left to resuscitate?
Not enough that you... What? Astromech, what? Finnegan reappears with a pop sound and farts on an open flame left in the engine room before popping out of existence once again, making things explode.
Bees? Bees? Really?
Okay, so, we'll get to that in a moment. So our audience participation is getting out of hand, I think. It's ready. We'll see what happens with that in a moment. But Cullens does not have enough of himself remaining at this point without reactivating some of the SIL components inside of him. You have a very limited time as the brain is starting to deoxygenate, and you know that that is going to cause lasting damage. If you could capture what's left of his brain temporarily, holding it in stasis, maybe you could put him in a different body or make one for him. But
yeah, I think Clarion is immediately going to do extreme measures and move him to medical and hook him up as quickly as she can.
Give me a strong roll. See if you need assistance in carrying him up to medical. Ooh, nice roll. 13 Cullens is not very heavy, so you pick him up at that point, just draped over your arms, starts moving up towards the medical bay. Clarion has a brain jar on hand, apparently. As you step upstairs, you had been doing research into biological components, the makeup and use, and all of that. And of course, based on your previous life working with Patchy, you do have items on hand that could be used to store a living brain.
Wow, okay. So yeah, she digs into the back of that cabinet.
Clarion puts Cullens down on the table, goes over to the cabinet, swings open the door, and goes, I know it's in here somewhere.
Everything comes in useful at one point or another.
So after receiving a stasis jar, basically, it's a large, almost like giant pickle jar that has a whole bunch of tubes and wires and chemical agents and preservatives and electrodes and things attached to it, mad science style. You bring that out of the back and blow the dust off of it.
No, I'm gonna wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol. Are you crazy?
Okay, you clean it appropriately. Fine. And give me a medical roll. Now, you're going to need to get an 18 or higher to successfully remove this without any lasting damage. A 20 or higher will be in perfect condition. You do have your medical supplies on hand.
All right, audience. All right.
There's a +1 from Sanctum Cosplays to Clarion's next roll.
Gotta get my tabs straight. Sheesh. Okay, so brains +2 for the robot.
Yes.
Okay.
Here we are, everybody. Can Cullen's brain be... There's another +1 to Clarion from Annika. Oh, that's only a 12. That would be a 14 with the pluses from the audience. You are shy. That will destroy...
I need to ace that.
Okay. There's an ace. And here comes the reroll. Ah,
I'm gonna use the audience ace.
There's an audience ace. And here it goes. Oh no! It does appear.
One more.
Okay, one more. Did you have another one? You do.
I
Look
had
at
2
that.
every
All right.
session, right?
Not 2 every session. 1 every session. But you did have some.
Oh,
There's
okay.
2 aces coming to you, or an ace coming to you from Manica.
Oh my gosh.
Doctor,
Another
we're
roll.
losing him.
14. That puts you at a 16. You're too shy. You got another +1. You're 1 shy.
Doctor.
I'm definitely trying.
There's a +1 again
we're
from
just 1
Sanctum
shy.
Cosplays.
Doctor, the patient.
That will cause some memory damage to Collins, but it will be successful in storing his brain in the future.
Another +1.
You will have to. There is another +1. You will have to, however, create a suitable body to put the brain in.
Y'all, thank you so much for saving my bacon. Audience, I appreciate you.
I honestly feel like there's probably some shit Collins could stand to forget. Like this is probably a good thing.
Everything that you've all put him through. The guy already had missing fingers and hands and stress and anxiety issues and a
I mean,
hole
that was his
blasted in
own
his chest. That was his own
Hey,
He's always been
Ty, would
absent
you
from-
say that this operation involves mediating or moderating temperature to keep the brain in stasis?
Yes, I would say it needs to be an
Then I have a
appropriate temperature.
+1 to that. Does that bring it up to 18?
Another +1.
That was an 18 already. You had a 14 and you've gotten +4s total. You got +5. So
Oh.
that puts you at a 19. With that would be a 20, however, and a 20 is enough to store his brain without damage. So congratulations, you have saved a brain. It is still not necessarily a person yet, but it is.
No.
It is in a jar now in your often used medical center, and we'll remember that and store it safely away, I'm sure, for the future.
Yes, absolutely. Like,
Not
that's-
next to the Faraday cage. I'm just
No.
saying.
That is
No.
technically the second party member's brain you have on board that ship now.
Who's the first?
Sheldon, Amos has had it in his bag this whole time.
No, I thought that was a broken ship.
No, he took what was considered the logic part of Sheldon's core from that wreckage. He found it.
Huh.
He's
Okay,
just
that must
forgot
be-
about it, I think.
Okay. Well, Clarion finishes the operation and finally her servos relax a little bit, and then she safely stows the jar away in a cabinet away from the Faraday cage and pats the lid gently and hooks it up to life support and says, Collins, I will rebuild you. I will make you stronger and better.
We can rebuild him better, faster, stronger.
We have the
Exactly.
technology.
I have the technology.
All right, so the $10,000 Cullens coming soon to you. Anyways, $10,000 because you're all on a budget, not because. So
10,000 scrap.
10,000 scrap, yeah. We go back to the deck where we see Leifei piloting away from the center, realizing that now, shifting your weight and with subtle manipulations of Aether, you can change the direction the ship flies with your feet.
He's having a blast.
It's just like floating the ship around and spinning it.
He's moving the ship around throughout every single scene, we're just gonna put this in every scene before this. Everybody's been sort of like around.
And at that moment, as you are doing this, the ship had begun moving forward again, and then you hear a then the engine turns off, and all the lights go out as a turtle pops into existence and then blows the rest of what's left of the engine up in the back, and you hear a and then suddenly the atmosphere goes and starts leaking off of the ship.
I have a grip with my toes.
Yes.
So Leifei's gonna start like towing his way over towards the door so he can get into the ship.
As you start heading towards the door of the ship, the backup atmospheric generator kicks on, and a small bubble of air that just covers barely the edges of the ship and part of the deck comes into being, so you don't fly off into space. But now, all of you are technically inside of a very small, self-contained bubble of atmosphere. As we go down below deck, Amos, you had just tossed Red Iron unceremoniously into the security office. You'd moved to your bed to take a rest. You'd heard a groaning noise.
Nope, still chewing out Red Iron.
Still yelling at Red Iron from the other side.
I got
of
a
the
speech and everything.
All right. As you were berating him, the door to your captain's door opens, the door to the captain's chamber, and you see Cutlass kind of move over towards you. What's all this then?
I'll tell you in the morning. Now, where was I? Oh, right. Amos is God. I will not question Amos's authority if he says something is in the best interest of the crew. Amos is to be listened to without question. Do you need anything else? Water, food, bandages for that severed leg of yours, Captain.
Suddenly, the atmosphere goes and disappears temporarily, and all of a sudden you can't talk because there's no more air for a moment.
Safe tech.
He's a
Over your
Lesbian.
face.
He can talk all he wants.
Well, you can
in
still
the
talk
vacuum of
mentally.
space.
That is correct. Safe tech comes on, and just you see the captain's eyes get wide for a second, and then you hear the backup generator pop on, and then suddenly air kind of filters back in again. The captain's eyes kind of bulge for a second. What the hell has gone on this ship while I've been taking a nap?
I'll fill you in. Follow me to the brig.
All right. He walks to the brig with you.
So anyways, at that point, B has gone off, and effectively I told the Eternal to go to their room and think about what they've done, and Red Iron tore the core of the engine out. Anyways, Red Iron, engine, problem.
Red Iron, look, nice to see you. You're,
Too bad I'm locked in the brig.
Why are you
Tears
in...
off the door.
Why are
Tears
you in
off the
three
door.
pieces? Where's your leg and your arm?
You would have to ask your security officer, Captain.
What happened to his arm and his leg?
The leg I consented to. My missing arms I didn't.
There was a security situation where we had to detain Red Iron, and at that point in time, it was deemed necessary to take apart Red Iron's arm and put it in a Faraday cage because we were going to wait for tomorrow, like civil pirates.
Perfectly reasonable, of course, to remove someone's limbs. Red, what's your rendition of the story, and why did you tear out the heart of the thing that you've been enamored with forever?
Actually, Captain Amos is correct. It was a perfectly reasonable response. And now Grandfather is unconscious, and we have about 2 hours.
Fuck.
2 hours too few. Let's go.
So,
Go what? I'm trapped in the brig, Captain.
our
Where's the
engineer has no arm and no leg, and our doctor's upstairs carving the skull off of Cullen's.
Come again.
I opened the door, looked inside, shut it, and walked away. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to be any part of that.
I
Oh,
assure you,
horrible
Captain, that was not a hallucination.
I wasn't sure. That's a good thing that it wasn't, but it's also terrifying. Did Sylvia get into Clarion now? What's going on?
No, quite the opposite. Sylvia got into Collins.
So Clarion's removing his brain to get the Sylvia out.
I wasn't aware of the brain situation. I just knew about the Collins situation, but only just now, or I would have warned one of you earlier.
Amos,
Oh.
get everybody on the ship, save tech. Then I want you back here. I need you to monitor Red Iron. Red Iron's arm and leg, get them back. Get that little tiny third arm of his as well. Put them back together. Get him inside the engine room and fix the goddamn engine. I'm gonna take care of the rest of the crew as best I can.
B is the one that you should go and see first, Captain.
I will go see B first. Yes, and then I've got to check on the first mate. Where is Leifei anyway? Anybody seen him?
No, I've been in the goddamn brig.
I wasn't talking to you. Did you see
You
him?
said anyone. Captain.
All right. At it. Amos, do your job. And then you see the captain like start rushing down the hallway heading towards the front bunks. When Cutlass comes around the corner, he sees Bicky lying on the floor. Nobody's bothered to help her up yet. He goes over. Bicky. Okay, you're breathing. You got mild concussion. Yeah, Clarion. I'm sure you'll be fine. He turns and runs around the doorway to the side. Garrett,
Just
what are
bring
you
her up
doing on
and
the
put her on
ceiling?
her bed.
What's that?
Just bring her up and put her on the bed. I'm sure Clarion has standing orders. Like, if I'm in the middle of a surgery, just bring them in.
Right. So he rushes around the corner first. And Carrot, what are you doing on the ceiling? Everything's fucked and I am not happy and I saw myself in the hallway and it is scary. B, are you okay?
B is still curled up in fetal position on the floor where Collins had been lying.
B, come
I
on.
don't think any of us are okay, Captain.
You see Cutlass reach down and pick up B off the floor, careful to avoid the burn marks all over her legs and arms. You don't look so great, B. We're gonna get you up to the doctor as well. Let me just hold you here in one arm around the side. And you see him like move over to the side. He's like, Carrot, get down here, goddammit, and help me pick up Bicky. Yes, Captain.
Oh no.
You see Carrot just dip around the side and go over to assist. Here goes a roll.
We lost you for a second there, Ty.
Oh, we've returned. And I can hear myself now because I have my audio on. There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And we're back because today's a weird day for the internet. Apparently it's crashing everywhere. And it's probably related to sunspots and the end of the world. But while the end of the world is happening, enjoy our show instead. So we have returned, and the captain shouted for Carrot to assist. Carrot rushes around the corner, goes to grab Bicky, and then inside of a pot, right off to the side of Bicky, a very tiny, like half-size carrot pops up out of the pot, staring at both of them and just going. The captain goes, "Kill it!" Pulls his gun and fires. Bang! Little creature tries to flee,
What the heck is that?
zips out to the side, and then goes around a staircase and ends up in a different room somewhere. What? Why is there a miniature carrot with a horrifying face? Wait, no, they look the same. What is going on? Carrot just goes, that was the other me. I told you came out of my shoulder. It jumped off and it just ran out. Now it's trying to bite everything. It chased me around the room, took off the tip of my tail, and then it went after Bicky. It knocked her head into that pot, and then it was proceeding to chew on her hair. Don't know what that was all about. Okay, another day. Help me still getting Bicky back up, please. All right, there we go. And another roll occurs. This time, barely able to do it himself. Carrot just kind of fumbles about, crashes some objects around. The captain reaches down, picks up Bicky in one arm, has B in the other, and then just starts, oh God, why didn't I have Amos do this part? And starts moving towards the medical lab. The Big B's. Apparently, there is a highlighted message we're gonna have to read because that's what we do with highlighted messages around these parts. Roll for chaos. I see big underscore B's is a big pee pee poo poo face, and then Agile Mech smells like hot garbage shoved in a bag with spoiled milk and dog farts. All right, there we go. Those are the messages that we placed in chat. The captain rushes past. And suddenly, as you have just finished very delicately putting this brain into the container, oh no, we've lost another person.
Wow.
Now I'm going to cough myself to death.
Welcome back, Gwen.
There we go. Welcome back.
Glad to be back.
The captain rushes into the room. Suddenly your door just bangs open. And you have the top of the jar just kind of rumble around in your hand and almost tip over for a second before you turn and look back, seeing a Bicky bleeding from a head wound and a very burned Beatrix. That the captain looks over and goes, "You got any room for these?"
Clarion points at the two empty beds.
All right.
And says, and gestures at Cullen's body and says, "If you could remove this garbage, that would be very helpful."
But that's Cullen's. That's not garbage.
No, this is Cullen's, and she points at the jar.
But we're gonna talk about your etiquette later. Here's a.
Is that inappropriate?
I mean, it still looks like Cullen's. We should at least show some modicum of respect, I assume. I don't know how this works. I've never had a brain removed from a subject before, or a person.
I am planning on reconstructing Cullen's. If you desire to give this meat shell that has been contaminated with Sil technology funeral rites, then feel free. I will not restrict you.
I don't have the mental processing power to deal with what you just said. All right, here's B. Put down over here. She's suffering from, Lichtenstein burns. I think that's the name for it. And over here, we happen to have, Bicky with a minor concussion. Are you okay, Bicky? Ow! Are you okay, B?
I don't think any of us are, but I'm trying.
You are very brave, B.
Take care of them as best you can. I'm gonna go get Scarborough to help you with medical, because I don't think anybody else here is even remotely capable of that while we're dealing with the garbage fire that is the rest of the ship.
Thank you, Captain, and good luck.
Thank you. I'm going to need about 20 chancers about this point. All right, and you see him rush back out through the door. So faced with the burns on B, faced with the concussion on Bicky, who do you attempt to assist first?
Triage. Probably need to handle that concussion just so there's no complications from that. B is in pain, but seems to be awake and lucid.
Another highlighted message, meat shell. We're not letting that pass without a highlight. All right, so you know what I should probably do at some point is put our chat box inside the small space that I usually reserve for other stuff over here, so people can see all of the crazy that quite often happens in this show. Or you could come watch us live on Twitch TV/RF Chaos and take part yourself for anybody who watches this on YouTube or whatever. Anyway,
Check it out, Friday.
on Fridays, yeah, starting at 6 Pacific Standard Time in the future. But now, enough of that nonsense pandering to our own selves. We return. Go ahead and give me a brains roll as you attempt to assist Bicky as best as possible. Nice, 21. So you're able to triage the wound, stop the bleeding. You're able to recognize that she does have a minor concussion and should probably stop sleeping inside of the room with everybody. And you proceed to smelling salt, wake her up, keep her focused, keep an eye on her eyes. Reveal that there is a bit of pressure on the brain, but not enough to be super concerned about. She will be fine with time. So you work on that while we switch back to Amos. Amos, you have been tasked with your captain of, getting things organized, getting Red Iron back in shape to go fix the engine. What are you doing first?
First things first, Amos is going to take a few deep breaths, then proceed to medical, collect the arm, and reassemble it before returning to Red Iron. Clarion and the captain can take care of the rest of the crew. The primary concern is getting the engine up and running, because without that, no matter what kind of safe tech we have, we'll be dead within an hour or two.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're going to try to get the engine up and running as quickly as possible. So you grab a hold of third arm, you grab a hold of the the fragments of the actual second arm of Red Iron. It doesn't currently have a leg, so what are you going to do about that? Just help carry him?
Does the leather armor have room for a plate or straps or anything?
The leather armor that he's currently wearing does have the leather armor for him, because he's not wearing it right now. But you mean in general?
I'm gonna make a papoose for Red Iron and carry them on a chest rig.
I know, that's a little infantilizing, don't you think?
I mean, I get to watch. I get to watch you work. So, yes. In addition to that, extra hands.
How about maybe a peg leg instead? I've had enough of entities messing with my autonomy for now, Captain.
All right. Tears off a stool leg and wraps it around the stump. How's that?
It feels a little more ideal, thank you.
All right, handing you back third arm in pieces. You're going to have to fix third arm to get it working again, because they have separated everything that can be separated on your core companion.
Let's go to the engine room first. I have an idea.
All right. Safe tech.
Red
Slaps it on Red Iron's head.
Red grabs all the scraps of his various crap and heads over to the engine room where the scrap is stored.
Okay. So you head over in the engine room where your scrap is stored, and what do you do from there?
Red is going to apply the level up upgrades to the third arm, which involve a grappling hook and a strength actuator. I think that's 14 scrap.
Yes, total.
Yeah. So let's just knock that out. And then Red is going to assess the engine, leaning on the peg leg in very pirately.
All right, so as you step inside the room and you take a look inside the engine room, as it is, the walls, the floor, and the ceiling are all on fire.
Yeah, okay.
The engine itself, obviously, the bits and pieces of sealed technology that were attached to them have broken free, come loose. You're surprised that this thing didn't blow up earlier, as you see like pistons and steam vents, cogs and wheels kind of split and teetering and wobbling back and forth. Some of them still trying futilely to do their job, but all of them having a very big and hard time of doing so. And obviously there's a nice keening wail coming from the ship, as you can hear Grandfather in so much pain.
Grandfather, shut up. You're not going to die. Captain. Oh, he's putting his safe tech on. It's fine. You got to put your mask on before you put on someone else's. Captain.
Yeah.
Is there still that barrel of herring water?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna need it.
Do I look like the kind to work on an engine? Tell me what you need, I'll get it.
I need a barrel of pickled herring water.
Gets the barrel.
Red takes dips their second arm in there, the mechanical arm, and way back in like the second episode, we created a liquid projection system.
You did.
Yeah,
Such a long
pulls
time.
it out and then sprays like the vinegar salt solution all over the room to douse the fires.
Give me an aware roll as you attempt to fire this into the right places while you're doing this. I will provide you a +3 to the roll.
Aw.
Nice. So as you begin to fight these fires, you see them starting to fade one by one until you have finally caused the final one to go out. So at that, go ahead.
Nope, it's fine.
At that point, after you have put the final fire out, you see the engine itself just seize up and stop.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an external vent in this space?
There is. Currently, it is melted shut.
That sucks.
Do you need something ripped open? Do you need something bent? Do you need something carried?
We can vent the atmosphere in here after I finish. Grandfather, how do you feel about some upgrades? Oh, you're passed out. So Red takes that trolley full of high-grade scrap that he bought for Sylvia and uses that to repair the engine.
Ah, nice. Okay, so give me a repair roll. You have to make 2 of these successfully. The first one is going to be to patch up any exterior and internal damage, so you don't have to worry about any structural problems. The second one is to get the engine in operating condition. This will take you 2 hours to complete in full, one for each of these. Anytime that you fail, you will have to take another hour, and you will waste the scrap involved. The repairs to the building, to the walls around, will require no more than low-grade scrap. There will be no penalty for rolling for that one, and only require 16 or higher to succeed. In the case of the engine, it is so fucked up that you're going to have to get a 20 or higher to successfully repair it. You have multiple attempts, multiple hours to fix this. Now you only have 2 hours of oxygen from the backup generator.
Third arm can help me, right? I get a bonus from that?
Yes,
I think
third
it's
arm
like
gives you a +3, I believe.
+3, okay. Amos, hand me heavy things.
All right.
So
I don't
can
like it, but
justify the
okay.
assist.
Amos is going to assist.
All right. Give me a strong roll as you attempt to assist just by carrying some supplies that you might need. There is a 13. That'll give him a +1 to the roll. So which one are you attempting to fix first? The structural damage to the room or the engines? You do have 2 +1s provided by our lovely audience.
Okay. And the engines and the Atmo generator are one and the same, right?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
the engines are what power the atmospheric generator in general. The reason that the atmospheric generator is on now is there is a small, very small backup generator attached to it. So the engines will provide the power needed to get your atmospheric generator working properly.
Okay. So I'm looking at the total bonuses that I'm rocking right now, and between my brains and all the bonuses that I have, I'm looking at a +11. So if I'm going to beat a 20, I think it's now or never.
All right. So you're going to go first up, first shot, trying to get the engines back online. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Going for the engines. Here we go.
Gotta get a 20 to fix it right now. That is a 21. And of course, you have the 2 +1s added on top of that, giving you a 23. So in this hour, you will repair the engines into working order. They are not going to be fixed entirely, but they will be operational. So
how much high grade scrap did that use?
High grade scrap that you used to put into this, let's
Using the
see,
good
that
stuff.
would have been 26 total.
Oops. I have 10 high grade scrap left. Is this going to make the engine a little bit more robust, repairing it with the good stuff?
Yes, it will have an enhancement to the amount of health that it just gained back technically.
Okay.
So, with that being said, there we go. All right. So with that being said, you happen to have fixed the engines now. You need to work on the structural damage of the ship. Amos, your strength will assist in greater regard to this because you're actually going to be bringing in the damage, or some planks and things like that from other parts of the ship, bits and pieces of heavier metal, so you can set up all of your bracing and the tubs full of resins that you will use to help seal in the ship. So give me a strong roll, and you will be able to provide a greater assistance on this roll than usual. If you roll well, that will give, yet again, only a +1, unfortunately, to Red Iron as he attempts the repairs. But
I think this qualifies as a time to use my ace.
Okay, go ahead and use your ace. Here comes the other roll, and it's slightly better, but that does give a +2 to Red Iron now. For your roll, Red, go ahead and make another repair roll as you attempt to work on the ship.
All right, so this is going to be for the final bonus numbers is +10 because the third arm's in here too. So here we go.
All of you working together at this with a +2. 17.
So 12.
You said +10, right? Or +12?
Well, that was including my brains. Yeah, so it's a 12.
Okay. So that would make it a 12 total? Is that what you're saying?
12 total, yes.
Okay. You waste 15 scrap of low-grade quality, and it will take another... Oh, there's a reroll from Big B's trying to save the crew.
Bees. Miss you, buddy.
Oh,
That's what we needed.
that's a little better, but that does get you above the 16 required, and you are able to fix it within the first hour. So 2 hours, you have fixed the whole integrity in this part of the ship and have repaired the engine to working status. Technically, the engine has 10 health, so don't let anything else damage it.
Ugh.
We move now back above deck where we see Leifei. This whole thing was going on. You heard footsteps running back and forth. The atmosphere kicked off. And as you're standing on the deck, the only person up here, give me an aware roll.
Oh, me? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
That's very good. 14.
14's not bad, not bad. With a 14, you recognize that you can see crystalline shapes, almost like snowflakes, rising up from the side of your ship. The side that was scraped earlier. The side that Finnegan smashed into a variety of structures at one point.
Leifei's gonna put that little neck gemstone on him again and just like hold it and try and like find Finn to see if he can find where he is on the
Finn?
ship.
Is missing. He's not on the ship.
Okay. Yeah.
So you head off to the edge of the ship to look at this, I'm assuming?
Yeah, without the advice of somebody higher up than him, he's gonna go check it out.
All right. So you walk over to the edge of the ship, you kind of grab onto the railing, and you peek your head up over and around it. And you can see that there is a damaged section of the hull on the outside that has broken one of your main water lines. And the water reserves on the ship are now floating off into the void.
Our water?
Your water.
As he looks out to the water, he tries to figure out what he can do to fix this.
Hey, thank you for the gift sub, KM Steer. We appreciate it. Hearts. This is half a heart because my hand has to hold the.
I got you the other half right here.
There you go. There's the other half.
So Leifei is going to do something that he should have done long ago, and ask people for help.
Ask people for help. You turn to go ask for people for help, and as you do so, your radio kicks in. Hello. Hello. Is there anybody out there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who are you?
You can't speak back. That's from the command console up near the helm. So you'd have to walk up there. So you travel over the stairs, heading up to the top of it. Your footsteps starting to bounce a little bit as you're nearing the edge of the small gravity well that's available from the damaged or diminished, we'll say, not necessarily damaged, but diminished atmospheric generator. And as you kind of bounce and float over to where the radio is, you see the little red light blinking. What do you say in return?
Well, first of all, he takes long strides enjoying this, sort of like a pirouette as he's going along. But as he gets up to it, yeah, hello, who is this? I can hear you.
Oh, glad to hear that there are others out there. We just saw a ship kind of floating derelict and had wondered if there was anybody on board or if everyone was okay. What is your status? Do you need assistance?
Oh, it's not fully derelict. But, why, who are you? Are you a repairman from out of town?
Not exactly. I'm, Captain Jamie Hain, at your service. Captain of the Yonless.
The omelet?
Yonless.
Yonless, alright.
You obviously have not heard of me. It's a real shame. But in the meantime, could you disengage any of your weapons?
See, not gunnery? Can't do that.
Oh. So there's no one on the deck but you. And none of your gunnery is currently available.
Oh, no, I'm just not gunnery.
I see. Well, Oh, I see. What are Sparrows doing this far out?
You know, flying, mate.
There's nothing out here to take. Why would you bring your ship this far out? You know, there are only very few vessels in this area that quite often carry anything of any worth.
That's certainly true.
Did you find something of worth that we should be aware of?
You should be aware of. I wouldn't know. The Yon list is, it's not really on my repertoire of names I should be giving out information to.
Really? Whoops, that echo was not supposed to be there. Really? Oh, it's a real shame. Your captain and I have not always seen eye to eye. I mean, he did get my spot after all, but I'm not going to be petty about it. But I do see that you are in a need. It looks like you have become floating adrift, and I've got a ship that's operant. Maybe I can provide you some assistance. How is Cutlass, anyway?
Oh, you know how Cutlass is. Tearing people apart, making names for himself, and for everybody working under him.
Right, he's not having hallucinations and sleeping all the time and getting drunk, like usual.
No, wait. Where'd you get that information from?
Oh, nothing. He and I, old companions, of course.
Anyways, so you were going to be Cutlass, and you were going to be Cutlass before, what happened? Did Cal, say no to you? What's going on?
Cal Ronan, pretender, that McCree, that individual who thought being a pirate meant doing nice things for people and escorting and only robbing the rich and the powerful and never finding ways to actually be a pirate. There is no place for virtues in all of this. And he didn't trust my methods, my ways. He and I also haven't seen eye to eye in a very long time.
At this point in time, Leife's been scanning around to see if anybody came aboard the top deck.
You don't see anybody aboard the deck, but give me an aware roll.
All right, okay. Haha, this is gonna be better. It is.
19! Nice. Leife, Arene, as you're staring out into the void, you can see a pirate vessel floating not too far from you, a cutter, something that's roughly the same size as your ship, but there's also two cloud hoppers. They're like little tiny 1 or 2 party vessels that are kind of circling around and watching you. On the deck, you can kind of see a figure standing there. He just kind of like waves as you're staring in his direction as the ship is starting to float closer to yours. And you see this individual. Let's see if I can get that to show up. Because... oh, wrong thing. Right thing. No. Dang it. 1 second, everybody. There we are. Share. Haha. You see this figure standing on the deck. And I will share that with our audience, of course. They want to be able to see it.
Ooh, yes, they do.
Whoa.
Oh, baby.
Whoa. No, yeah. Whoa.
That much, huh?
Wow. Okay, did you say cloud skippers?
Yeah. So you see this figure there, and there's a bunch of smaller vessels kind of starting to circle around you. And this figure is standing on the deck, and he just kind of leans back and waves over at you.
Hold it up. Wave.
So, can we come aboard and assist you?
Oh yeah, send your cloud skippers first.
All right, certainly. You see the 2 vessels. He kind of like disconnects from you. You see him say something, and the 2 others come flying in your direction. As they approach the side of the ship, you see 2 individuals on each kind of step off and walk onto the deck. This rather burly individual, huge, square, squat, bearing far too many tattoos to look anything more than gauche upon his cheeks, and with a very large gap-toothed grin, just look over at you.
Hey, nice to meet you, finally. You're that Liffy guy, right?
Yeah, Liffy's the name.
Nice to meet you. I'm Donk.
Donk. All right. And he's going to just pop down and move up to shake his hand.
He walks over to you ploddingly, boom, 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 standing nearly 8.5 feet tall, with hands about the size of your head. He reaches down very gently and, like, shakes your hand.
Now, Leif is pretty strong. Like, he's all pink muscle, but this guy's probably, like, wax stronger.
Yeah. It's very obvious that this figure also has made a serious effort to not crush people's hands when shaking them.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know many people out there that just are so tiny and fragile, and I break lots of things. Donk doesn't like it when he sits in a chair and it shatters. It's very embarrassing. I don't want to do the same thing to your hands. That feels embarrassing to you as well.
Oh, don't worry about it, Donk. I'm pretty stern.
A tough
So
one,
that
eh?
means-
Good, good.
And you see him just poof, right against your chest. You stagger backwards a few feet.
Like, there's just like that, the space amount, the amount of gravity that's out here just like pushes him back a while. Yeah, Donk. Oh, right, your cap. He's coming up in a minute, probably.
Yeah. Captain Hayne, good fellow indeed. He'll be right over as soon as. Come on down. Come on over. He can't hear me, but I'm gonna yell at the sky anyway.
You think that, mate?
I'm pretty sure.
How'd the last job go? I haven't been hearing much of the
Yonless?
Yonless.
Yonless has been on a bit of a hiatus. You know, we had some issues with the authorities for a while, and this companion nearby just, like, slugs him in the shoulder. Shut up, Dunk! He doesn't need to know that shit! Hey there,
Why not, mate?
first mate, Leify, was it? Yeah, I'm a gunner. Nice to meet you. You can call me Squat.
Scott? All right.
Yep.
Scott.
Me and my mate Dunk here. We've been partying on the Yonless for quite some time.
Dang. That's nice to hear. I've been party here for a while, and most people aboard. Actually, most people aboard, where are they?
I don't know, your ship looks awfully abandoned for, pirate crew. Is everything, maybe it's beneath the surface, and you see Donk to the side go, oh, it's like an iceberg thing, where you just see the tip, and the inside, and then, I get in trouble for showing the tip sometimes.
Well, who's to know?
Phrasing.
For the past while, I haven't seen much of many. So, as like the thing shifts and what is it? The emblem on his forehead changes and colorizes, glows. He's like, I wonder if I've been aboard a ghost ship this whole time.
Oh, a ghost? Don't. Donk turns, like, pale white for a second. Don't tell me there's ghosts on this ship. I don't like ghost pirate ships.
Well, maybe I'm the ghost.
He's
He
fucking
starts
with you,
moving.
Donk. He's fucking with you. Don't worry about it. He's not. You touched him. You can't touch a ghost. Ghosts, your hands
Right.
go right through the ghost. It gets all cold and clammy. And how would you know? I've touched a ghost. That's all I gotta say about that.
Leifei pushes off the ground. His gravity is like very loose right now and just starts floating in the air.
Donk just turns around and starts walking back towards the cloud skipper. And Squat, standing nearby, goes, "And why you gotta be like that? He's a very softy guy, and you see Donk over there. There can't be ghosts everywhere. Get me on the ghost ship." And he hops aboard the skipper and is like, "Get over here, Squad. We're getting out of this terrible place."
Don't be gone long, Donk.
The skipper leaves without Squat. As he's standing there, like, "Come back! Now look what you done." True
What do you
fashion.
think about your captain?
True pirate fashion, anyways. Good job. He, like, hits you in the side with his little hook hand.
Oh, hookend, nice. Where is everybody? As he's like looking around for a second.
How do I like my
Board it
captain?
now.
Well, Captain Hayne has been upright. Individual constantly keeps us bathing in booty. That's all I gotta say about that.
Nice. What's the latest haul?
Latest haul, Siltech. You would not believe how much of that stuff we found just free floating everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you come across any? Worth a fortune on Avalon. There's a collector
Siltech.
that's been taking all that stuff up, building something, whatever, but they've been taking it and they've been paying out in huge bounties of silver.
We haven't found any treasure that's Siltech. Though we have found something he looks around. A little bit better.
Better than Siltech treasure? What are you talking about? Come on, you can see him like start to salivate.
The sword in his grip sort of sets itself sternly on the deck.
Oh my.
Towards the ground.
God, that's beautiful! Where did you find that?
Oh, you know. Secret places, hidden maps.
Dude! Yeah. You got another map? I want one of those. I would really love to turn this hook into a saber someday.
We're on the edges of space, if your captain's willing. Cutlass is.
Edges of
To
space.
go that
you
far
say.
into that much danger.
You hear a yell from the side as Captain of the Yanlis steps forward. Hey! Leave that maid alone. We got some conversation to have. Please, don't mind my lackeys. Many of them are pirates. So, nice digs. Elvin?
Is he talking about the ship?
He's looking at you, and he looks at the sword, he looks at the gemstone you have like floating just under your shirt.
Ooh, he could see that. Okay. Yeah. It is.
That's pre-monarchy. Interesting to see someone such as you holding on to it.
Someone such as me.
Oh yeah.
First mate of the Sparrow crew?
First mate of the Sparrow crew. Exactly. Not like some sort of hidden royalty or anything.
Yeah.
You took a very long time answering that question. Interesting. Where is your captain anyway?
He's somewhere around here. It's a bit of a ghost ship right now. He could probably hear you below deck. He's not in medbay. There's a rare few that ever are after our holes. Yeah, let's head below deck.
All right. Show me your below deck, if you would.
Certainly.
And he starts following Leifei towards the entrance down below decks. At this moment, your security officer and engineer are working away very diligently inside the engine room. The captain and 3 of the other crew members are in medical, which just leaves Carrot downstairs and Scarborough. So as you step down the staircase, you see Carrot off to the side going, I can't make the same noise. Off to the side, you see a very tiny Carrot just like staring him in the face from the side, just going. And Scarborough's like chasing him back and forth across the room. You get down, back over here. Let me just firing up into the air.
So that's Gunry. His name's Scarborough.
Do you realize you have a very tiny kobold creature hissing at everything running across the room that looks an awful lot like the same clutch?
That's Carrot. Let's call that one Radish for now.
Radish and Carrot. Oh, good. I always find kobolds to be so bad for a ship.
Ah, yes.
How many kobolds do you have aboard this ship, anyway?
Right now, with the addition of Radish, I'd say 4? 3.5, really.
He looks over to his other companions nearby. Remind me not to stay on this ship for much longer. And turns back to you. Okay, where would a captain be if I were a captain aboard this ship? Oh, I wouldn't be aboard this ship. Unfortunately, it seems to be full of crazies. And if anything is to show for what's occurring, you're venting all of your water and part of your atmosphere. Engine comes back on. Oh, at least you have an engine that works appropriately. That's good for you.
Thanks, mate. Oh, sorry, Captain.
Excellent. Knowing your position and the proper respect deserved of an individual such as
Certainly.
myself. So,
Just follow me. There's a wind leading off towards the captain.
wind leading off towards the captain. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he starts following after you. Where are you headed at the moment?
I think Leife's got a innate sort of understanding of the captain.
Okay. At this point, you can hear the sounds of cursing coming from medical. So you start heading back towards medical, and as the Captain Hayne and his crew start walking behind him, he turns and looks at your brig as you walk past that. My oh my, someone has burnt through your lock, it seems, and your bars, and part of the bed. You apparently took someone prisoner here recently?
Pirates, mate.
Right, you take prisoners and not hostages. Oh, got it. Continuing to walk by, you see the engine room door next to the stairs open, and the two of them are frantically patching holes and stuff inside of there. Good day,
Okay, I got this
gentlemen.
Oh yeah, I was like,
Captain, grandfather is functional again.
Oh, you know my
I wasn't
status
talking to
already.
you.
Looks over at Leife.
Captain, grandfather's functional again.
You have been holding out on me. You've replaced Captain Cutlass, and you've been pretending this whole time. How dashing! I had thought you to be nothing more than a lackey. And he taps Leife in the side. You got me on that one. Good.
Yeah, most people seem to think I'm a lackey for some reason.
It's probably because your entire lack of confidential stances and the presence that you provide seems to be one of airheadedness.
Red
Wow.
rips Amos's safe tech.
Captain, you look like you want to say something.
You ripped your safe tech off, Amos.
Ty, first off, he says out of character, stranger danger?
You know, Captain Jamie Haim. He and your crew have come up at odds on a few different missions in the past, and there's almost a rivalry between the two of you, but it's been a while. The last time that you saw him, he stole one of your marks.
Remind me again, what is a mark?
It is a target that the pirates have that they're trying to plunder.
Ah, Captain Hayne, wonderful to see you again. I see you're back for the receipt.
Amos, you still exist, and with such a tiny arm. That's so quaint.
Aw, not as quaint as you. Where are those two fellows? The bulky one and the skullduggery one.
Well, they are probably doing their job. Like you should probably go back to doing.
Oh, I would, but that would be a bit difficult for both of us.
Certainly understand that veiled threat. So,
Captain, how do you know this man?
Looking at Amos.
Oh,
What?
Mr. Captain Haim, he's a slippery one. While we were raiding a outpost for some gold and silver and jewels, he left without saying goodbye along with the treasure.
oh well, all's fair in love and piracy.
And part of our engine.
Oh, it
Stares
seems
at
like
iron.
you have plenty of engine. I take that back. Is that still technology? Are you attaching that to your engines? What kind of madman?
It's attaching it, actually.
What
So
kind
it's
of madman
attached.
would attach silt to them? You're seeing things. You're down here in engineering. And you're automatically assuming, Captain, I think we need to get this gentleman, should he identify as a gentleman. If not, we will. honor the proper honorifics and get him above deck,
Wait,
where there
what
is
are you,
fresher air.
what are you saying, Captain? We removed SIL technology from the engine as this individual has observed. I don't understand this.
Yes,
I don't,
yes, very much so. It was never there.
Well, it does seem there is some still within here. If you're trying to get rid of it, we'll take it off of your hands for a tidy sum.
I'd sooner sell my firstborn child than to give Siltech to the likes of you. It's
Oh,
been
that
one of
is
those
not your
days.
place. You are a security officer, are you not? I would actually
but
refer
it
to the
is my place.
Captain Leifei, will you sell us this material? We'll take it off your hands. Obviously, it was problematic. I would gauge from all of the fiery burn marks everywhere and the fact that your engineer is missing 1, 2, possibly 3, maybe 4 body parts.
oh,
Stare.
only one is recent.
Beams over to Leifei. I have the shot. Just tell me, and I'll take him down.
Can I beam back at all?
What's that?
Can I beam back at him mentally?
Beam back with your gemstone, possibly. You could roll magical to attempt it.
Pog?
It's starting to heal, I guess is the best way to call that over time.
That'll be 12 on magical.
You can whisper something that is only 4 words at most to Amos. The voice comes back into your mind, Amos.
If you need to.
That's it.
Amos nods slowly. Right then, so what brings you to our ship this evening?
Well, we were just in the vicinity doing some, actual piracy, and we happened to notice a ship just floating here like a gutted whale, ready to be plundered or picked, but it was occupied. And by such prestigious individuals as yourselves, I decided I would just offer a helping hand. And of course, there's always a catch, the way things are with pirates. I would require just a favor from you, and I will help repair your ship. By the way, you've lost all of your water reserves by this point.
I mean, there's a perfectly good ship around. Who knows?
You are threatening to take mine. I'd love to see
I'm
you
not
try.
threatening to take yours. I am telling you that if you try anything with my crew after today, I will personally make it my mission to climb aboard the ship with or without safe tech, and then proceed to execute every single one of your crew members, and leave your still alive husk floating in the void if you so much as act suspicious on this ship today.
On and on and on and on and on with all of these pointless threats. I get it. I understand, Mr. Guard Dog. Stand down, don't bite, please. Don't bite.
Captain, if you attempt to crawl aboard their ship without safe tech, you'll probably suffocate before you actually get there.
I can hold my breath.
Literalist. I like this one. So, I am not here to take. I'm not going to take advantage of a circumstance. No, I am offering but a trade. There is an outpost nearby that is. There is a military outpost nearby that I need to get into. And I could use a diversion. You don't necessarily have to stay for the entire engagement, but if you promise to help me, I think I'll make sure your crew can continue surviving without dehydration, and some of the exterior hull damage, it looks like, is quite severe. Here in short time...
Patched internally.
You might want to reconsider that. It is close to the front of the hull. You are at the back of the ship, my friend.
Oh, that part. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, again, nothing more than a trade. And Captain Leifei, you're allowing your officers to speak on your behalf. I am so surprised. I can see why maybe everything is falling into dereliction if they have an individual who is so weak to not make their own decisions as captain.
Sparrows fly free, mate.
Oh, so you give them free rein to do whatever they please, and then you get this chaotic result. I can see that this ship is in good hands.
Thank you.
That was
Anyways, what's the outpost you're talking about?
There is a dwarven military outpost nearby. It happens to be becoming temporarily diminished shortly. They will be having a change of the guard. We just wish to go there and collect an item that they are securing. They are protecting nothing serious, just a sill weapon, and we would like to take that with us. All we need from you is to distract any of those that are coming to said outpost long enough that we can hijack the station, remove the artifact, and leave.
Red Iron, in a blissful moment of lucidity, beams over to only Leifei and says, "Why don't you let them know that I have experience with sill technology?" Blink twice if you could just say it out, like you don't need to, like you don't, like we don't have to have, this doesn't have to be if you're not comfortable with it, you can just say no, Captain. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
As Leifei begins shadow boxing nearby while staring at Red Iron.
Leifei just gives a sign of a nod. I see. And what empire? Which part?
The Silver Shield Empire. There's a outpost that happens to be a front. Unfortunately, the information is expensive, and that bastard Kylitos would only part with part of it at the options that we provided him. However, the rumor has it that they're operating a facility that tests these Sill weaponry in an attempt to, what is it called? Reverse engineer some of it to use with the Mithril Order. And we wish to make sure, one, that doesn't happen, because it's a lot harder to ambush anything and steal from it if it is having vastly superior technology than what we have now. And two, it's worth a lot of money, and three, it is very, very damaging, and we could really use a new cannon aboard our ship. Sounds like fun, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great. I would say that I would take advisement with one of the free birds about here. Over there, Red Iron. He's a master of Seal technology, so he would be able to tell you things about that.
All right.
As well.
Master Lego Kobold, can you please provide me information about Sill technology?
Yes. See a sill, slay a sill.
That is a very stupid motto from a very stupid admiral.
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, go ahead and integrate the sill weapon into your ship, and then we'll pull up on you and offer to extort you to extract a favor from you after it destroys your ship and throws your crew into chaos.
Is that
Amos
what
offers the
happened? It seems like you did not take enough failsafes.
Oh, there aren't enough failsafes.
Really?
It uses a hyper radio wave frequency. It actually bypasses Faraday cages.
Did you try magic?
I don't dabble in magic. You would have to ask.
So that would be a no. Then maybe you don't know everything now, do you, Mr. Ishi whatever?
I am called Red Iron.
Oh, right. Red Iron.
Anyway, if you want to get a sill weapon, I happen to have experience interfacing with them.
Okay. We may be able to do a trade in the future, but first we need to actually receive this weapon. So, Captain Leifei, are you all right with this trade? Hell no, I'm not okay with this trade. What the hell are you doing down here? See the captain start walking down the staircase? Oh, it's wait a second. double. I've fallen for multiple problematic situations. Leifei, you have been lying to me this whole time. Good for you. How pirate-like.
Sorry, mate. Sparrows fly free. I already said it.
Well there. Hello, Captain Cutlass. How have you been? Nice to see a charming face such— Shut the fuck up! I don't know why you're on board this ship. I don't like that you're here. I want you to leave, but you don't have any water. And I think we should have a better conversation then. Why didn't you tell me we're out of water, Leifei?
Sorry, I drank it all.
You're fucking
No,
with me. You're not. You
it's-
didn't.
Something happened earlier. Finn's gone, by the way. It's
Oh, thank God. That is one bit of really good news that I really needed that. Thank you very much, Leifei.
Really, he gave me some very good advice. Wait a second, Red Iron, why are you here? Never mind. Yeah. You talk to him. I've been messing around enough.
So, why are you here, Haim? You know I don't like you. Yes, of course. You've made that very clear abundantly multiple times. You see, I was offering a trade for your party, and they believe that they should accept without your assistance. They've already stated that they would like to have me help make sure your ship was working properly, allow you to travel away, and you were just going to do a small thing for us. Just a tiny diversion. at
Mate,
an
I'm right
Empire
here.
outpost nearby. What'd you say?
Mate, I'm right here. Don't lie in front of my face.
Captain Cutlass turns and goes, Jamie, can you skedaddle back to your ship? We'll try to deal with our problems here. I'll have a small conversation with my crew, and we'll talk to you about it then. But in the meantime, try not to touch anything on the way out. I don't like snake slime covering everything. And the captain turns to the other captain and nods and goes, well stated. I will be awaiting your parley with me shortly. All right, let's go. And you see him turn on heel and just start stalking away up the stairs and off the deck. And as his boots kind of click, click, click away, you see Captain Cutlass turn, grab his hat, and start beating Leifei with it. What are you doing? Why were you doing that? You pretend. Why didn't you come get me earlier?
Sorry, Captain, stop falling asleep.
Should I intervene?
Well, I know you did your job, Amos. You are nothing if not meticulous about being a security officer.
Sir, I am requesting, once this clusterfuck has been concluded, that I take 3 months paid vacation at this time, sir.
I think all of us will probably take one at the same time when we get to that point.
Separately from the crew, sir.
Okay, fine. Separate. Everybody gets their own week. Whatever, a few weeks, whatever, months. Yeah, you know what? When this whole thing is done, you can disband if you want. You come back if you feel like it.
Understand.
I have a question, Captain.
Yes, Red Iron.
Don't we hate this person collectively because he stole a job from us? Is that why we don't like him?
He outmatched us in conniving and cunning, and according to the pirate codes that for some reason exist, even though that's nonsense to me, he won.
Why don't we just steal this Syl weapon from him then?
Are you kidding me? You really want more SEAL tech on the ship?
I mean, we dealt with this one.
Dealt with the? Have you looked around? I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Please report to medical.
I don't
engine
mean
is
that literally,
better.
Amos, but maybe soon enough. Okay.
Sir, if I...
Okay.
Sir,
Siltech
if I
is
may-
worth a lot of money. We already know that. Sil themselves, incredibly problematic. Already know that. Based on what you went through, Red Iron. You know what? Maybe we're better suited to take this now that we have the experience than Captain Haim with some sort of technology that might take over his entire crew and drive the ship in a different direction and cause a whole bunch of catastrophe, especially if that Siltech is a very powerful weapon or more, who knows? Do we really want to get involved in more Sil technology?
I was just
We-
thinking that we're very good at blowing up stations, so if nothing else, we can just blow it up with him in it.
That is a good idea. Red Iron, I knew I kept you around for a reason. He pats you on the shoulder. That sounds like something we should. Oh, wrong shoulder. Sorry about that. Okay. Plan is we double cross him.
Yes, sir, Captain.
And if we
Are they
fail,
within earshot?
we blow everything up. Got it?
That sounds like the best option, honestly.
And maybe we just blow them up. But that doesn't guarantee that SIL technology's gone. Obviously, there was a whole heap of explosions that happened before, and it just scattered all over.
Well, he wants us to act as a distraction. We could do that, and then, not be a distraction at all.
Hmm. We could
Betray him?
be good, upstanding Empire citizens and do our due diligence and notify the authorities of the potential attack.
That doesn't sound very pirate.
That is very much not pirate, and I'm sure that would get us blacklisted from Saberhold.
I mean, I'm already blacklisted from Saberhold, so...
You are not.
No, wait, that was Albion. Forget I said anything.
It's all right.
Or I have a second option if we just want to say, screw Haim. It sounds like he's, incredibly handsome captain. Won't deny it. That's his good point. I'll say that. But he seems like he will betray us before we can betray him. I'm going to say that too.
I mean, that's a distinct possibility. As soon as the winds change.
You're picking up the lingo. All right. Well, I have a second option right now. And it might not sound great, but I think it's perfect.
What's that?
Screw Haim.
No.
Let's go to Myosinus.
Oh.
Well, I said he's handsome. I didn't mean it so perfectly, but...
All right, fine. But we head to Myosinus, you're saying?
Yeah. Remember this?
Yeah.
By the way, Haim noticed it. Yeah, he wants it. I know it. But the next one, I had a vision, is on Myosinus. Money.
So, bypass SIL
Deal with
technology
SIL?
entirely? Go
Deal
get
with elves.
elf rocks?
Elf rocks.
What do you think, Amos? Elf rocks versus SIL?
I think Elf Rocks. I have had too much still these past couple. Yeah.
Red Iron? Elf rocks or SIL?
I had an idea for figuring out how to beat him to the weapon, but honestly, if we don't want to mess with Siltech if we want a little break from that, I'm not exactly in charge of anything except keeping the engines running. I frankly don't even know why you're asking me, Captain.
Because I am a diplomatic captain who actually appreciates the input of all of his crewmates and doesn't like to make decisions that are rash and unjust and authoritarian.
You just Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of rash and authoritarian, can I get some food and some rest? I haven't eaten in 2 weeks and I haven't slept in 3 days.
Amos, you can be relieved at ease. You can go do your eating thing. You might have to find some of your own food in the kitchen because Bicky has got a concussion and is unconscious.
I'll eat while I work.
All right.
Can we get to this next destination for this elf rock before we run out of food and water?
No.
Well, that kind of puts a damper in the elf rock plan.
But we have to convince Haim we're going to help and then take off.
Or we could just attack Hain, destroy their ship.
Well, that's currently a bad idea. I know that Haim's ship is far more outfitted than ours is, and he's a very crafty individual.
I mean, why not just do it from the inside? Send a small party in and just make our way throughout the crew, sabotaging systems as we go.
I still have Sylvia's logic chip. I could just attach it to their engine.
That would cause the ship to run away.
That's an interesting idea.
I think I would rather keep track of it, honestly. I don't need that thing running around.
Well, if you are looking at causing as much havoc as possible to somebody I really do not like, I'm down with that idea, though.
I'll think about it. I also think that she might be useful for locating this weapon before he finds it.
So yet again, an impulse. We're in an impasse here.
I think you should ask the only actually sensible person on this ship, and that would be the ship's medic.
Clarion? Yeah, you're probably right. All right.
Honest
Well, I'll do this. Currently, Clarion's working very hard, and it looks like you are as well, on fixing the outsides of this thing. B is out, although I don't think I can necessarily trust B at the moment to answer anything that isn't just Zep talking. I'm a little concerned about that, as a matter of fact, from what just happened. Yeah, let me go talk to Clarion, see if I can interrupt. Amos, go get some rest. Red, continue the work you're doing. Leife, go stall for time.
Stall for time. I could do that, Captain.
Tips
I feel
at
like
you.
I'm gonna call you Captain forever. All right, I'm gonna try and go board one of their star skippers.
The Sky Skipper? Alright.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
luck
I mean,
with that.
Sky's sort of outdated now that we're,
I mean,
the Silver
you
Sea
know,
over here.
Take it, make it whatever name you want, and just like go with that. I mean, you could start a new trend.
Oh, you know me, mate.
So
Leifa's out of the scene.
Leife heads up the stairs real quick, just jumping up and like pulling on the railing and heading up towards the deck as the captain turns and nods towards everybody else, goes up the stairs and walks into medbay.
And
go ahead.
I think at this point, Clarion is moving on to working on B.
All right, as you moved over to B, you do see that the Lichten something or other scar burns. Anyways, those burns that are, I keep trying to think what that, I know what the name of them are, but I can't think of it at the top of my head. You do see that the burns upon her body and the damage of the lightning that is radiated all the way through one side and down one leg is pretty extensive. How do you want to approach fixing the issue? You know that she has nerve damage, but medicine in Aether and Steamworks is a little bit different. People do have a regen rate, which means literal regeneration, but it is impaired by her wounds.
I think I would like to. Well, I definitely want to address her pain, and then Beatrix.
Yes, Clarion?
I can think of 2 ways to treat your burns. I could perhaps allow your natural regeneration to do what it can, but you may not have full control over your limb. Or I could debride the dead tissue and cause a little bit more wounding, but perhaps you would heal up fully functional.
I think it's important that I be fully functional. And I learned today that pain is a state of mind.
Once again, B, you are very brave. I will begin applying anesthesia to your arm shortly. Please let me know if you can feel any sharp poking after the anesthesia takes effect. And Clarion will take out a drill bit and use that instead of a toothpick.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding.
just, yeah. She
So
numbs.
give me a
she numbs
magical.
the whole area.
Give me magical. Excuse me. Give me a medical roll, and we'll see how successful you are at starting to numb the pain and remove some of the wounds. That is a 20. Nice. So yes, you are able to take away one of B's wounds right now, and the other 2 will remove over the course of an hour. Which body part did you focus on? Leg, arm, or other arm?
Dominant arm.
Okay. Are you right or left-armed, B?
I don't think I've thought about that before, so I'm going to go with right.
All right. So
I kind of want B to be ambidextrous.
ambidexterity. That is
That does sound like something she would do.
All right. Well, then you can be ambidextrous. That's fine. Doesn't really have much of a mechanical difference in my game at the moment. So, So, Clarion, you address the wound in the arm, and you happen to administer the medications, and you bandage up and you patch, and you start applying salves here and there. What do you doctor's advice do you give to B right now?
She is, by the way, as soon as she realizes she can't feel it, she's poking her own arm.
Is this real life?
This is so cool.
It is incredibly, it is unusual, yes, to not be able to feel your own pain.
Wow. What if I do this? Is this what it feels like to be a robot?
I have some feedback. It is different from yours.
Oh, okay.
I would not call it the same. It does not function in the same manner. But if you like, you could consider yourself to be one step closer to me through this experience.
I would like that very much, Clarion.
I would like that very much too, Beatrix.
And she will try to hug you
as you go to hug. Immediately, something hisses at you from the corner and leaps towards you. A very tiny carrot-like object, now known
Clarion shoots it.
As the bloodbound trickster imp suddenly shows up as what did Leifei call it?
Radish.
Radish jumps from the corner and immediately lunges towards Beatrix's exposed arms that are out towards the hug. You turn to fire. Give me an agile roll. See if you are able to before this creature latches onto B.
Didn't I tie your mouth closed once before?
Yes, and you will not live to regret it.
This creature zips past. As you start to bring your weapon up, your arm doesn't get out in time as it zips by you and slashes its teeth onto B. Roll defense for me, B. You're able to hold it at bay. It's just going... trying to bite you.
I'm gonna try and bind its mouth again using magic.
Roll magical for me. And spend one overload. And I'll roll its resistance. You got 7 versus its 9. So you aren't going to be able to do it with that roll.
Then I'll have to use an ace, won't I?
Okay. You just have to beat a 9. There you go. 12 and...
Beatrix, I'm running out of places to contain creatures like this. Should I just stun it or kill it?
Well, it's part of Carrot, so I guess Carrot should make the ultimate decision. Stun it for now.
Very well, and she will turn her PDO to electric and point blank shot it.
Roll damage. $10 points. What does it look like as this thing explodes, Clarion?
Ah, I see my settings were too high. And then she immediately begins cleaning off herself and Beatrix.
Well, I don't think Carrot's going to miss him that much. They were a little too much alike, you know?
I believe Carrot would find this thing disturbing.
Carrot finds everything disturbing, Clarion.
Precisely.
You hear a... I don't know why, but I'm really sad now. Coming from downstairs somewhere.
I sure hope that Amos has not used his emotional manipulation once again.
And then the captain comes into the room.
And then
ladies,
we're both covered in gore.
You, is that a tail? Is that...
Yes, the tiny carrot came in and attempted to bite Beatrix. I tried to stun it, but apparently my PDO was calibrated too high.
It was mad at me for tying its mouth closed earlier, so I tied it closed again.
I believe that this is a threat eliminated, Captain. Can I help you?
I've never wanted to see carrots' insides before. All right. Yeah, we've got a pirate ship. It's the Yonless. They're outside. You remember them, B, don't you?
I remember them too well. They tried to steal me.
Yeah, but you got away. I mean, thank goodness Zep was there for that, right? Remember the story. Don't be too mad.
Yeah. And you know, Zep will be there for me again if they try it next time.
Yeah, that's true. You've gotten quite a bit better at doing the things with the weird wind god. Clarion, question for you. So, we got two choices. We gotta get an elf stone or a Syl firearm. Which one do you want to do?
I would say that we have had enough trauma surrounding Syl technology for the moment.
Alright, so I guess we're going to the bug-infested, the giant bug-infested swamp world. Gotcha.
We are heading...
Yeah!
The elf stone is on Myosinus. That is pertinent information, Captain.
Lefe has found or had a dream or something that the other Ioun stone is located there, or at least another one. And it's a significant haul, but we haven't even found out what this one's worth yet, so...
Is Lefe willing to sell the one that he possesses?
I'm sure he would if we asked. I mean, we haven't asked yet, right?
He seems rather attached to it. If he intended to sell it, would he wear it around his neck?
Well, there was that whole, this is some sort of elven monarchy thing related to a crown and collecting all these gems and putting them all inside of it. I'm sure that's not going to summon some sort of apocalyptic Cthulhu demon or anything.
And don't forget the sword.
Are you sure
Right,
about
the
that,
sword.
Captain?
We're sparrows. Everything we
can
do.
only run so far. If something affects the entire Aether sphere, then
You know
there's
what?
nowhere else to go.
No, that's incorrect. I've been outside of it.
Ah, yes. As
We-
I recall, that did not go well.
We'll get through everything because the scene fades to black as the episode concludes. Thank you very much for watching Sparrows. This has been an interesting and chaotic evening. Thank you for all the contributions. Hey, Doyle, thank you for the subs. Ooh, geez, a 10 sub bomb. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate you. We love our audience. We hope to see more constant nonsense coming out at us because it's fun. Isn't it, everybody? Isn't it fun?
So much fun.
So much.
Fun. So, we're going to go around the table. Tell us where we can find you. Tell us what type of socials you are interested in. And tell us what you're afraid of happening when you get to/are on Myosinus. And we'll start at random, like usual. First one up. Kai. You are first up, Mr. Lefe himself. Mr. I used to live on Myosinus, and now I want to go back so I can become an elven king.
Yes, of course. My name's Kai. I am a skate on Twitch. I'm a streamer sometimes, getting through some stuff right now. I'll get back to it soon when I'm done doing all my normal life stuff. But you can also find me on Twitter at Real Kairoche. I talk about pretty much TTRPGs, and that's about it. But I play Lefe here on Friday Sparrows. Man, what would Lefe not want to see going to Myosinus? That's a loaded question. Maybe the last games. By the way, go watch it in the VOD. Last game's introduction is a bit of a detail. Lefe has some unresolved trauma that is in Myosinus. A lot of things.
Unresolved trauma on Myosinus. Hi.
Family, teachers, friends.
Oh my goodness, sub hype. We got a hype train running. We're up to level 3. You are all crazy and wonderful. Thank you, McSherry. Thank you, Lib. All of you supporting the community. Appreciate that. And I have no idea whatsoever what might happen on Myosinus when you get there. I just don't know what parts of the story might need to be written out. I have no clue, Kai. Why would you do this to me? Don't throw me in the briar patch. Anyway, we'll move right along from there to Benjamin. Your turn, Mr. TT Benjamin 1 over on the Twitter's amazing voice of Lawful Great Adventures and this show.
Thank you. I'd agree to there's so many things that went well tonight. And also so many things that didn't go well whatsoever. Probably the most technical issues I've ever seen in a stream.
Oh my god, right?
From many different angles. Like, I shut down, the Discord took a poopy, and then McSherry dropped for a second there. It was just a whole thing. It was very stressful. And we all, it was interesting because it was right at the most dramatic moments. And then boom. So maybe that was the fates trying to weave us a really fun tale. I am afraid of nothing on this whatever bug planet because my character intentionally doesn't know shit about the world or the universe. I am a tabula rasa. What's more, I feel like we just sort of I feel like this is the end of Sparrows Arc 1. This was the finale episode. This was all the things tying together, and now we're off on the next adventure. So I'm not scared of bugs. I don't care. I'm a fire lizard. Lizards eat bugs, and fire's bad for bugs. This is perfect for me.
It's true. Fire is bad for bugs. And, if you do go to... If and when you ever make it to Myosinus, because I'm not going to actually hedge my bets that you'll ever make it anywhere, but if and when you make it there, I've got a lot of stuff already being made, and I can just... Anyway.
I'll fight a bug.
You'll fight a bug, and we'll move right along to Gwen. McSherry, your turn.
Oh my goodness, this was great. Yes, I am McSherry, Gwen. You can find me doing the news with the wonderful Doyle, who just keeps gifting subs tonight. He's incredible. Doing the news on Tuesdays for Roll Charisma. And the rest of the time, you can find me right over there in the chat. And of course, here on Fridays, playing B, who doesn't normally look like a scary wind god zombie character, but I had a lot of fun. What I'm most not looking forward to on Myosinus? I think that B is concerned, or will be concerned when she learns about it, that they'll lose Leifei, because that's where they picked him up.
I can see that being a concern. Oh my goodness, how awful would that be if B lost Leifei because he returned home or saw his old friends or got caught in some sort of strange adventure outside of Sparrows?
Oh, and right after losing Cullens?
Right?
Oh, it would be heartbreaking. But when they go there, B is hoping to get to ride on one of the giant bugs again, because that was really fun the last time she was there.
Bug riding is a number one situation. Oh my goodness, you are all so amazing individuals out there. Hype Train 5, I don't think I've ever seen that on this channel. So
320%.
320%. It's ridiculous. You are all insane. Thank you very much. I mean, Doyle, Jesus. And we'll move right along to Jackal. Your turn, sir.
Hey folks, I am the thing who apparently is Jackal. I play Amos Macendi. Coming up this Sunday, the 15th, around 6 p.m., we're going to have a really quiet Ranger Day party. Originally, we're going to have it on Tuesday, but due to work and life and just general nonsense, it's been pushed back to the 15th. What is Amos scared of? Nothing. Amos has been on edge and terrified and trying to warn everyone. There has been infighting. There has been self-destructive tendencies. They have done their best to rein things in as they can. They have gone as far as to outstretch themselves to a toxic degree, and they just don't care anymore. They just don't care. Back to you, Ty.
You concerned that Amos is worried that he'll never see family again?
What family, Ty? What family?
Well, we'll have to see if he can get back that sensation with the others. Oh, I dropped things. And we'll move right along to Nora. Clarion Bell, your turn.
Hi, I'm Nora, aka Azetidine. You can find me on Twitter at Azetidine, Azetidine, and every other week or so on the Cornfields and Kobolds podcast, playing Koilena Firetree, a bard who is climbing the levels in preparation for our confrontation with the Dragon Queen, Tiamat. Yeah, things are getting tense. And starting next Thursday, I will also be playing Avery, the unicorn, a very, very sad nerd, in the Monster Hearts game that our lovely Sanctum Cosplays is going to be running. And I am super excited for that. Not only because Shannon and Bees are going to have it out, and I'm just going to be eating popcorn in the background.
He is so screwed.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's going to be awesome.
There's-
And I can't wait. And I think the thing that concerns Clarion most is the thing that she would say next to the captain. And that is, Captain, you should be aware that my master was based on Myosinus, and I have spent the last 10 years running from that planet. If I were to go back there, I am concerned that he would make a large effort to recover me. Are you prepared to defend me?
And he would say, always.
Thank you, Captain. I deeply appreciate you.
So, that has been Sparrows. I am Ty Loudevenstar over on DeviantArt. Oh no, I don't do DeviantArt anymore because it's horrible. Ugh, it's so gross there. I am Loudevenstar on Twitter and Loudevenstar Art on Twitch. I will be getting back into more streaming at some point in the future, but for now I am focusing very heavily on art, on this community, and on growing things that need to be grown. And I have to say, Benjamin, you called it. This was the end of Arc 1 of Sparrows, and is moving on to the next chapter in the story. So you got it right on top. The secret threats that have been abounding and all around this entire time, unfortunately, have been your girlfriend. And that is what happens. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for being part of this amazing community that we all are trying to foster. Appreciate each and every one of you. Lip, Steer, Big Bees, Azetidine, A. Doyle, everybody else out there in chat that I know I've forgotten to mention. Everybody here that is playing with me around the table. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I am so thankful we get to play these games together. I'm also very glad that you didn't kill each other tonight, and that B is still alive, and that Red Iron is still here, while I was enjoying the ideas that Benjamin has come up with for replacement characters.
We
Also-
were very close to supervillain Red Iron.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, you
oh
were.
yeah.
And
Oh,
there were
yeah.
absolutely situations that could have occurred in this, especially some bad rolls that might have been made that might have turned these whole circumstances around. And I would have hated to lose Red Iron. He's grown on me. He's been an interesting character, and I would hate to lose that. But I was willing to make that sacrifice if it was necessary. Anyway, so good night, everybody. Thank you again, and stick around for the raid. I will find someone to send us on over to, send a little bit of love their way. And, of course, that gives you a few extra points here so you can come back and wreck our shit again and again. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.